It's Monday, June the 8th. Today, keeping an eye on the law, how soon Winnipeg police officers will don body-worn cameras and how they will be used. Also today, another costly challenge. What metal is attracting thieves' attention, leaving farmers with damaged equipment and hefty repair bills. Plus, Winnipeg Pride Parade. Thousands of Manitobans gathered to mark the start of Pride Month on Sunday, showing support for equality, tolerance, and love. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Monday to you. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Now, Ainsley McPhail is live in the St. Boniface area. They have Franco Thursdays coming back. It's a really great opportunity to explore the St. Boniface, of course, but also celebrate the French culture, music, businesses, all of it. So we're going to get sort of a tour of St. Boniface and some of the businesses there. But it was a beautiful weekend. Lots of heat yesterday for Pride. It was warm but clouded over and windy, so it was a little bit cooling in between.
That little bit of a breeze helps. Yes. Well, that little bit of a breeze is a lot of a breeze this morning. You're certainly going to notice some much stronger winds, but yeah, the temperatures, they're still well above seasonal. For example, 23 degrees, which is where we're sitting right now, would be a normal daytime high. It feels more like 29 once you're factoring in that humidity. That breeze, yeah, it's a strong wind out of the south-southwest, gusting to 50 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 74%. Now, as far as activity goes on our satellite image, we are seeing a little bit of storm action. A little bit in this very southeastern corner, the bulk of it south of the international border and a little bit into parts of northwestern Ontario. Futurecast was kind of showing this band of thunderstorms reaching from northern Manitoba right down into the south, but you can see there's a little crack right there. Winnipeg is going to get through that. In fact, most of this you'll see just kind of moves off in either direction. So parts of northern Manitoba will see a little bit of that moving through. Here in the south, though, we are not likely to see much of that. We'll see increasing amounts of sunshine today. The clouds will be clearing out. We'll be feeling the heat for sure. And yes, those winds will be on the stronger side today. So most definitely going to be a little bit breezy. Now here, tomorrow, very likely could find ourselves in the path of some showers, thunderstorms, and the possibility of some severe ones. And a reminder that severe thunderstorms do come with a chance of hail, strong, damaging winds, all sorts of action there. Heavy rain. Northern Manitoba will by Wednesday be seeing another round of precipitation. We've got some heat to be felt for the next couple of days, but then it really settles down, soggy through the middle to latter part of the week. And then the weekend is looking considerably cooler than where we've been the last few weekends.
Thank you, Terry. 40 Winnipeg police officers will start wearing body cameras this week. The new technology is part of a pilot project with the goal of equipping all frontline officers with the cameras. As CTV's Jeff Keel shows you now, Winnipeg police say this will improve accountability and safety.
Wednesday, Winnipeg police officers will be wearing cameras to capture video when responding to a call.
It keeps them accountable, and then it gives you another side of the story.
For the sake of keeping everybody transparent, then absolutely.
Over the next 6 months, 40 frontline officers are being equipped with the cameras as part of a pilot project with the aim of outfitting up to 700 frontline officers in 2027. The cameras will be turned on when officers are responding to calls, doing enforcement during investigations, and when an officer initiates an interaction with an individual. Police say this will hold everyone involved accountable.
We owe it to the membership, we owe it to the police service, and more importantly to the citizens of Winnipeg to show what is happening, how our officers are responding.
The WPS believes this will also improve safety. People may act differently if they know cameras are rolling, and police say the cameras will help prosecutors in court.
This is the best way to ensure that the facts come out.
But some members of the public may have privacy concerns being recorded by police.
I think it's important to be more clear to the public on what happens with the data.
Police say the video footage collected will be secured and the data is owned by the police and no one else has access, adding Canada and Manitoba have strict privacy rules compared to the U.S.
It's protected, it's retained as controlled by City of Winnipeg retention bylaws and only disclosed through appropriate means.
Police will be looking for feedback on the pilot program through public forums and a survey. Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Winnipeg is not alone. The Brandon Police Force started equipping officers with body cameras last week with a plan to phase in 65 of them. The northbound lanes on the St. James Bridge were closed after a serious motor vehicle collision early Sunday. Winnipeg police say around 12:30 a.m. on Sunday, officers were sent to a serious motor vehicle collision involving two motorcycles at Portage Avenue and Century Street. As you can see, a red motorcycle was lying on the northbound lanes of the bridge, with part of the Viscount Gord Hotel's parking lot also closed off to the public. Around 11 a.m., the northbound reopened. The traffic division is investigating. Israel and Iran traded fire again this morning on the 100th day of the war in Iran as tensions are up again in the Middle East. Sirens rang out in Jerusalem this morning as Israel warned the public about incoming missiles from Iran. In the West Bank, what remains of a shot-down missile can be seen near Jericho. Earlier this morning, Israel says it hit military targets in western and central Iran. This is in response to a wave of strikes launched by Iran yesterday toward northern Israel. Tehran strikes targeting northern Israel were launched after airstrikes in Beirut. Iran is warning yesterday's attacks were the start of a full week of strikes. So far, no injuries have been reported in Israel or Iran. This is the first time the two sides have attacked each other since the ceasefire came into effect 2 months ago. U.S. President Donald Trump is calling for calm from both sides. Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen this morning claimed responsibility this morning for missile strikes in central Israel. The group also said they're banning all Israeli ships from passing through the Red Sea. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is making his pitch today on why Alberta should remain in Canada.
I want a strong Alberta within a united Canada.
The majority of Albertans who do think that Alberta has been treated unfairly, that it doesn't get the respect for the contribution it makes to the country, and to have someone speak to that could change the minds of those who are what we call soft separatists.
His keynote speech in Calgary will be the launch of Poilievre's campaign to promote a stronger Alberta within a united Canada. An excerpt of his speech shared with CTV News reads, quote, "We do not need a different country, Alberta. We need different government policies in Ottawa." The Carney government has signed a memorandum of understanding with Alberta on a potential pipeline, but Poilievre argues that doesn't go far enough. Alberta is set to hold a referendum on October 19th that will include several questions, including one related to independence. The federal and provincial governments are offering a lifeline to Manitobans affected by U.S. tariffs and broader economic uncertainty.
Canada's economy is changing. Global markets are shifting, industries are adapting, and workers are being asked to navigate increasing uncertainty.
That's Rebecca Chartrand, Minister responsible for Canadian Northern Economic Development Agency, announcing more than $18 million for the Canada-Manitoba Workforce Tariff Response Program. It's expected to help more than 2,000 workers gain new skills for in-demand jobs, such as through training or employment programs or directly through their employer. You can find all the details, including how to apply, by visiting the provincial government's website. Winnipeggers may soon be able to start getting their trailers and boats ready for the camping season a little earlier than normal. A motion making its way through City Hall would permit one recreational vehicle, travel trailer, or motor home to be parked on a driveway leading to a home or in a side or near or rear yard between May 1st and October 31st. Currently, that's only allowed between May 15th and October 31st. The plan would still need a public hearing before moving through full council. Downtown Transcona was filled with hellos over the weekend.
To me, it's just the feeling of family, neighborhood, kind of old school values to unplug and just enjoy the moment.
The 2026 Transcona High Neighbor Festival took over part of downtown over the weekend. This year marked the 62nd year for the festival, connecting neighbors to each other. A motor parade, amusement rides, a pancake breakfast, live music, and more took over not just the downtown, but also other locations in Transcona. For lots of attendees, the festival has been a life staple, with some of them participating ever since the festival first started 62 years ago. Here's a look at what's happening in traffic now at Confusion Corner. So far, it looks like a pretty easy start to your Monday morning drive. Barely anyone in this part of the city at this point. If you see any problems out on the streets, please send us a text to let us know. Let's go now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live on Provencher this morning. We're talking about the Franco Thursdays and what it means to the area. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning. This is one of my favorite areas in the city, and for good reason. It wouldn't be a summer in St. Pete without Franco Thursdays. Le Patio bumping with everything from entertainment to something new this year, French lessons in the evening. So if you want to either brush up on your skills or start from scratch, this is the place to do it. They've also moved the movies here too. There's food. If you're a history buff, there are river walks too. You can explore some of the murals. So it really is bringing in local vendors, culture, history, and language too. So it's not just for the people who live in the area, the broader community can enjoy as well.
Hey, thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. It's going to be a breezy day today.
Windy, most definitely. Still warm. We felt the heat over the weekend, all weekend long. And my flowers, my goodness, did they ever feel the heat? I just came out here. They need a drink in the most desperate way, so I'll grab them one right after this. It is going to be another hot one today. The possibility of precipitation is pretty slim for us here in the Winnipeg area. There will be a couple of places through the province, mostly through central and northern Manitoba. It might have a better chance of seeing some of that precipitation. But yeah, we'll probably see more sunshine. It's on the cloudier side right now, but these clouds will be clearing out throughout the day. It's 22 degrees. It's a hot 22. It feels more like 29 right now. Winds are gusting to 37 kilometers per hour out of the south-southwest. The pressure rising and the humidity sitting at 81%. And yes, these extra clouds for now were part of a band of thunderstorms reaching from northern Manitoba right down into the south, but it kind of looks like it's dispersing just ahead of Winnipeg, and that we won't likely see much of that precipitation as it continues to track further into the north, and in areas off to the east of us there will likely be some of that action in those other places. Tomorrow night, perhaps a better chance of precipitation, but again, the possibility of severe thunderstorms and still some very hot temperatures. The cool down will come in just a couple of days' time toward the middle to end of the week. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful. Our new Hunter Douglas showroom is at 900 Lorimer.
Good morning. One person was found dead and 3 others were taken to hospital after 2 fires on Friday and Saturday. Around 1:30 p.m. on Friday, firefighters were called to a 2-story apartment building in the 400 block of Ross Avenue in the Centennial neighborhood. Crews went inside and brought the blaze under control about 30 minutes later. Firefighters found one person in the suite where the fire started. The person was pronounced dead at the scene. Around 3 a.m. on Saturday, crews were called to a 2-story house in the 500 block of Flora Avenue in the Dufferin neighborhood. Crews arrived and rescued 3 people who were trapped inside the home. They were all transported to hospital, one in unstable. Both fires are under investigation. Meanwhile, a firefighter was injured and one person was also sent to hospital after a Saturday night fire. Crews were sent to a 2-story rooming house in the 300 block of Redwood Avenue around 9:30 p.m. on Saturday. That's in Winnipeg's William White neighborhood. Crews fought the fire from the inside and brought it under control about 30 minutes later. All residents evacuated, but one person was sent to hospital in unstable condition. A firefighter was injured at the scene and also sent to hospital in stable condition. The investigation continues. With high fuel and fertilizer costs already squeezing farmers, many in rural Manitoba are facing another costly challenge: theft. As CTV's Alex Carpa reports, recent copper wire thefts are leaving some producers with damaged equipment and hefty repair bills.
The pivot irrigation system.
Copper wire from this pivot irrigation system was stolen from Rachel Proden's farm in southern Manitoba, leaving it unusable.
We were thinking it's going to be around that 20 grand that we're going to have to spend to fix it.
The damage hasn't stopped there. Proden says the copper wire in one of her corn planters was also stripped, completely destroying the equipment in the process. She says they were forced to buy a new machine, which cost them around $50,000 to replace.
Looking at replacing stuff when you weren't, those weren't in the budget this year. So looking at that, it's very frustrating and kind of nerve-wracking.
Proden said this recent theft is extremely frustrating and could have a significant impact on her farm. In response to similar situations, others in this region have already taken drastic security measures to help prevent further crime.
So you can see there we are in the in the camera there.
Near Elm Creek, around an hour from Winnipeg, Colin Penner has installed security cameras and additional lighting around his property. He says the recent rural theft is troubling.
Rural theft, it's a big thing, right? We depend on our tractors, our trucks, and our equipment for our livelihood. And when they disappear on us, it can really impact how we can do our job.
Manitoba brought in the Scrap Metal Act 4 years ago that bans the sale of stripped metallic wire without proof of ownership. But Proden says more needs to be done.
The fact that there's somewhere that somebody can sell this copper wire to is frustrating.
Proden and other farmers are offering a $10,000 reward for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of those responsible for the recent thefts. Alex Scarpa, CTV News, Portage La Prairie, Manitoba.
Prime Minister Mark Carney will head to Europe later this week for the G7 Leader Summit. While there, Carney will meet with allies to tackle global challenges, look to attract more investment into Canada, and increase security ties with Europe. The summit runs from June 15th to the 17th in France, with a focus on reducing global inequalities. Ahead of the summit, Prime Minister Carney is expected to make stops in Paris and Ireland. He leaves Thursday. Excitement for the World Cup is building as Team Canada arrives in Toronto ahead of our first match on Friday. Fans came out to greet the men's national team at Billy Bishop Airport. The team was coming from Montreal, where they played Ireland to a 1-1 draw in a final tune-up game. The next time they play, it will be the real thing, the first World Cup on home turf in Canadian history.
It's something special. Like, everyone has been looking forward to this competition for a long time, and yeah, to come here, knowing in the back of our mind we're preparing and about to play, one of the biggest tournament, the biggest tournament in country football.
Now our attention switches totally to the tournament and to our first opponent in Bosnia.
Team Canada will open the tournament on Friday against Bosnia and Herzegovina. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers season started with a big spark.
Back into the belly of Brady.
Brady Oliveira blasted through the line and scampered 19 yards for the TD run midway through the first. Down 14-8 later in the half, the Bombers regained the lead on a 1-yard rush by QB Bryce Perkins, but Calgary stormed down the field once again and took a 21-16 lead into halftime. Midway through the third, though, Zach Caleros connected with receiver Tim White for his first touchdown in blue and gold. The Stamps would take the lead late on another rushing touchdown, but Sergio Castillo, we're going to wait for that right here. He was the hero on Friday night, kicking the game-winning field goal with time expiring. The Bombers took the season opener 30-28. They're back in action this Thursday at home against the Ticats. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. The westbound curb lane on Portage will be closed between Golding and Minto Street. On Madillon Street, the eastbound curb lane will be closed from Youville to Dufresne Avenue. And following the rush, the westbound curb lane on Abenogi-Mikanok will be closed from Dakota Street to River Road. If you see any issues out on the streets, please send us a text to let us know.
Traffic is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. No appointment needed.
We're looking now through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bath Fitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. That camera is shaking out there. The winds are strong this morning. It's very warm, though. Honestly, a little bit of moving air is the best thing that we could ask for, because these temperatures are well above seasonal. That said, we've actually dropped off from our 5 a.m. reading, so the 6 a.m. reading is a slightly cooler 22. 5 a.m. was at 23 degrees, which, by the way, is a normal daytime high. So we're already in the zone of what you would expect to peak at. But here we are, first thing this morning, with those warm temperatures lingering. Slightly cooler all along this western border. You're seeing the temperatures more so in those high teens. 17 degrees seems to be the average. Dauphin a little bit more at 18. And right up into northern Manitoba, these mid to high teens. Churchill the exception to that, at a much chillier 2 degrees to kick off your morning. A few extra clouds up in that area as well, and across northern Manitoba with some precipitation. There's actually this band that kind of cuts through into parts of northwestern Ontario and up into, it never reads on the northern part of our satellite image, but that precipitation goes right up into the northwest and will be tracking further to the east as the day goes on. We're probably not going to be seeing much of that, just the clouds clearing and increasing amounts of sunshine as a result. 23 degrees when kids get into the classroom, 24 through the lunch hour, 26 by the time they're coming home, and 27. That will be where we probably top out today, but could be even hotter for tomorrow with the chance of some storms. And then following that, some slightly cooler, still soggier conditions expected through the middle part of the week. And then the latter part of the week and into the weekend will be considerably cooler as we stick in those below seasonal temperatures throughout the coming weekend. Mom was busy doing laundry and the bear cubs are out there playing. Thank you so much for sharing the photo. Thanks to Mark who sent this one into us. Keep the pictures coming to Winnipeg Weather, CTV.ca. We're taking a break, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Good morning. Fans of the Epic series, check out this contest.
Honest person can change the course of the future. I'm glad you're with me.
The soundtrack to Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, will be performed live here in Winnipeg. 250 musicians will provide a full orchestral accompaniment live on stage to the Academy Award-winning movie. And this week, we're giving away 4 tickets to the Saturday performance on June 20th at the Centennial Concert Hall. Experience the movie like never before. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca. And don't forget to enter the keyword ring. Good luck. Bell Media recently announced Saturday Night Live is coming to the network this fall. One of the show's stars went to Toronto to promote the show and talk about the move to CTV and Crave.
All right, adios, amigo. I'm taking this award, I'm taking Greenland, and I'm taking Zootopia. We love Zootopia.
It is quite the transformation for James Austin Johnson to morph into President Donald Trump every week on Saturday Night Live. Appearing at the Bell Media upfront promoting shows coming to the network this fall, I thought James Andrew Johnson is quite a mouthful, so I called him Jaj. Apparently, I'm not the only one. J-A-J?
Jaj. Jaj, that's what my wife calls me. That's what everyone at SNL calls me.
No, they don't.
Yes, Jaj.
Seriously?
Yes.
I thought I made it up.
No, you didn't make it up. See, that's what's great about it as a nickname. It's just what people want to call me.
And live from New York!
Johnson was in town to promote the news. Saturday Night Live is moving to CTV and Crave this fall.
I'm so excited. This is so cool to be a part of, really, you know, the best television network in Canada. You know what I'm talking about? I feel like SNL's where it's supposed to be for Canadian viewers. So it's really exciting, you know, and Crave is cool too. So I'm happy to be here representing, you know, what we're making in New York and be able to share it with everybody up here.
The comedian often spends time in Toronto and Montreal performing.
I love Canada. I always have a great time up here because it's just like, what if America was good?
As for the impersonation, Johnson says it's easy.
If I take my sunglasses off and I do, you know, he kind of stands like this now, and he tilts his head and he kind of swings his arms as he listens to people talk, you know what I mean? So when you get the physicality going, and then you just imagine that I have a big hunk of ham right here.
And then step by step, it happened before my eyes, even without the prosthetics.
And then at a certain point, and you do the voice and you do all of it, and we don't know anything about it, but we're going to be looking into it very strongly. We're going to be looking into that because it's a really bad thing.
So all you got to do is you get into the physicality and you get some makeup on, and then you just start saying stuff.
When you get to hell, tell them Rosanov sent you.
He got me. Season 52 of Saturday Night Live comes to CTV and Crave this fall.
So funny. All right, here's a look at what's happening now on the Provencher Bridge. It's a good start to this day. We're going to take a break. We'll be back after this.
22 degrees. That's a very warm start to your morning. It feels already like 29 outside with those winds out of the south-southwest gusting to 37 kilometers per hour. That's the one little bit of relief that we get today is those stronger winds, because otherwise it's just going to be feeling so hot. The pressure on the rise, the humidity sitting at 81%. And yeah, it's that humidity that's making it feel like 29 right now. But 22 where we are is practically a normal daytime high. So we're already in that zone, and it's only going to continue to heat up throughout the day today. As far as precipitation goes, we kind of missed our chance. It looked like we had this band of thunderstorms that was lining up from the northern part of the province down into the south, but now it looks like it's moving just south of Winnipeg, further off to the east now, as the part that was further north of us, just doesn't show on the satellite image, continues to pass across northern Manitoba, but it broke up right ahead of Winnipeg, and we didn't see much of that precipitation at all. So my poor flowers on the rooftop are needing a drink. I gave them one this morning. You might need to water yours as well. 27 degrees, that's where we're headed today, with those winds at times gusting to 50 kilometers per hour. The clouds will clear throughout the day, making for very clear conditions overnight. 14 degrees expected as those winds start to taper off, but those winds will be back again for tomorrow. So too will the heat. 31 degrees. The stronger winds out of the southeast, and the possibility to see some showers or thunderstorms developing later on into the afternoon. Now, once that precipitation starts, we could see it lingering through the middle part of the week with a considerable cool down as far as those temperatures go. And even once the precipitation subsides, those cool temperatures will stick around.
The Manitoba government has passed new legislation that mandates nurse-to-patient ratios in healthcare settings. It's intended to strengthen staffing across the province and improve patient safety. CTV's Harrison Shin reports.
Manitoba will have a nurse-to-patient ratio required by law.
The implementation committee is going to look at these recommendations, and then it has to do the work of understanding what are the differences geographically, right? Again, the needs of Winnipeg are different than the needs in the north or in Prairie Mountain Health.
The Manitoba Nurse-Patient Ratio Subcommittee heard from more than 4,800 nurses and have released 9 recommendations developed with employers and the government.
We want nurses to have a better experience on the front lines. We know that patients deserve better quality care and better outcomes, and nurse-to-patient ratios is a big part of how we make that happen.
Recommendations include minimum ratios across acute and non-acute areas, minimum baseline staff, and developing rural and northern specific strategies. The initial ratio suggestions are 1 nurse for 1 to 2 patients in intensive care and 1 nurse per 4 patients minimum for emergency departments.
It's something that we've been advocating for a very long time, to have nurse-patient ratios.
The Manitoba Nurses Union President Darlene Jackson says call for nurse-to-patient ratios came from their last round of collective bargaining, and while Jackson wants to get the ball rolling as soon as possible, she says implementation should start slowly, considering the province is short on nurses.
We believe that bringing nurse-patient ratios in, starting with nurse-patient ratios, we're going to bring nurses back into the system. We're going to bring part-time nurses.
Harrison Shin, CTV News, Winnipeg.
In a statement, PC health critic Kathleen Cook says in part the ratio is a laudable goal, but will require concrete action to implement across all areas of the province. Cook adds it will need a staffing plan with a strong focus on retention. We're learning more about how many officers were involved in a hostage taking in St. James 2 weeks ago and the impact it had on people who called police for other reasons.
It was an active shooter. We had to assign a lot of police officers, a lot of cruiser cars there. So they're at the scene for a long period of time.
That's Deputy Chief of Support Services Art Stannard, who says 77 units were involved on the May 29th incident. He says each unit is comprised of 1 or 2 officers, and because of the immense strain on resources, he says calls in the queue spiked by 78% and reached a peak of 337 waiting 2 days after the incident.
In this case, we had to call out quite a number of resources over the weekend to address and to get the queue down to a manageable number, not get down to 0. But just get down to a number that we can tolerate.
Stannard says the force received funding for 36 officers to staff 2 more cruisers last year, but he adds at least 36 more are needed to help keep up with the growing city. In Toronto, tens of thousands of people took part in the city's annual walk with Israel.
We're here because we're proud. We're here to be loud. We're here because we want to show everyone who we really are. So I'm Israel Chai, and we're from Israel.
As Jews, we don't feel as comfortable in Canada any longer.
Organizers say this year was the largest turnout in its 57-year history. They estimate more than 60,000 people showed up. There was also a heavy police presence. 6 people were arrested. Organizers say the walk sends a message that hate isn't acceptable in Canada, describing it as a moment of unity and solidarity for the Jewish community and the people of Israel. There were also dozens of counter-demonstrators nearby supporting Palestine. We're getting a look inside the major construction project happening on Parliament Hill.
Certainly the largest and most complex heritage rehabilitation of its kind in Canada and actually maybe even in the world.
The project is usually blocked from sight, but the public got a special sneak peek yesterday during the annual Doors Open Ottawa. It gave people a closer look at the multi-billion-dollar upgrades of the centre block and the construction of the new Parliament Welcome Centre. The project kicked off in 2018 and is set to be finished in a few years. The price tag is around $5 billion. Officials say the site is complex and there is a focus on restoration, modernization, as well as maintaining tradition. Thousands of Manitobans gathered to mark the start of Pride Month on Sunday. The annual Pride Parade marched through downtown Winnipeg, drawing thousands to show support for equality and tolerance. This year's Pride Marshals include married couple Mira Kopiova and Jamie Komorniski, Jim Kane, and Youth Marshal Phoenix Harper. More than 150 groups marched in the parade this year, including the Rainbow Resource Center, the Hagari Pride, Manitoba and Rainbow Outpatient Addiction Recovery. After a rally at the legislature, the parade made its way through downtown, ending up at Blue Cross Park. You can still view our full live stream of this year's Pride Parade by heading to our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. Here's a look at what's happening now on the Norwood Bridge. Traffic is still quite light at this point in the drive. If you encounter any issues out on our streets, please send us a text to let us know. Here's a look at your gas prices in Winnipeg. The average is $1.56. It was $1.58 on Friday, and the lowest price in the city is $1.49. All this info is on gasbuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Coming up, we're learning all about Franco Thursdays in the St. Boniface area. Stay with us for more on what's coming up.
Weather is brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
It's muggy out here. You're certainly going to notice that high humidity this morning. The extra clouds are already beginning to break up, and I'm seeing this bright spot where the sun is about to appear before me. Beautiful. Don't get me wrong, there's certainly still some heavy clouds lingering, but yes, you can see that crack in the clouds, and we'll certainly see more of that sunshine as the rest of these clouds clear on out of the way. 22 degrees, though it feels like 29 when you're factoring in that humidity. Thankfully, there is a bit of a breeze, although it seems to have stabilized somewhat right now. I haven't felt it for a little while, but at times it's gusting to 37 kilometers per hour. That's out of the south-southwest. The pressure rising and the humidity sitting at 81%. So yes, it's feeling a little bit muggy. It's definitely been warm. We felt that heat all weekend long and still continuing for the next couple of days. We'll deal with that hot, well above seasonal air. Now, as far as the whole week goes, no, there's a big cool down coming. In fact, by the middle of the week, temperatures barely reaching seasonal values, and cool conditions for the latter part of the week will last right into the coming weekend. Checking in with Ainsley McPhail this morning, see where she's at and what's going on. Hey, Ainsley, what's up?
Hi, we're at Le Patio talking about Franco Thursdays. Happy Monday, everybody. Katie Fowler's joining me to tell us all about it. It's such an exciting time just to have summer in general, but when it comes to Le Patio and Franco Thursdays, what's on tap?
Yeah, so yes, as you mentioned, we're here at Le Patio 340. They will be offering some great programming this summer. I'll let Elise talk about that a little bit later. But some of the other things that you can do in St. Boniface aren't really that far away. Over at Kilter Brewing, just down the street. New this year, they have a run club. For Jeudi Franco Thursdays, we'll also be hosting our conversation groups again for folks that are looking to practice their French. If you speak English and you want to practice French, you can do that. And the summer market starts not this Thursday, but next Thursday. So those are a couple of the major things you can do, but there's definitely more to that than those three things.
And Franco Thursdays has really grown over the years. You've watched it transform. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so we experienced a lot of growth. Particularly, it felt like last year, and so this year we're really sort of strengthen our capacity to host everybody. So this year we're launching a volunteer program that's going to help us be able to implement all of the things that we're doing this summer. So they'll be present at the market. They'll be helping out some of our partners just to help ensure that everybody enjoys their experience while they're here enjoying all the events for Jeudi Franco Thursdays.
And bringing other people into St. B who don't come here too often. We want to see you here. And there's other ways to do that too, whether it's through history or pulling them to the water.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's one thing that we really, one of the things we really wanted to encourage to people is that Jeudi Franco Thursdays, it's for everybody. So it's for all levels of speaking in French. It's for all ages. There's activities for families, seniors, and everybody in between. So everybody's always welcome to come.
Thank you so much. And, you know, yeah, all levels of French speaking. They haven't kicked me out yet. They haven't kicked me out yet. Okay. And you'll find out if they have in the 7 o'clock hour. Stay with us.
Here's a look at the early markets now. The Dow Jones is 36 points lower. The Nasdaq is 219 points up. The S&P index added 28. The Canadian dollar is down, set to 71.74 cents U.S. Overseas, the Hang Seng lost 304 points, and the Nikkei fell 2,563. Good morning. It is 6:46. Police are asking for your help tracking down 2 men who robbed a jewelry store in River Heights in April. Here's what they look like. Police say the pair went into the store in the 1700 block of Corden Avenue shortly after noon on April 29th, armed with a handgun and a hammer. They smashed a display case and made off with a significant amount of jewelry. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Major Crimes Unit or Crime Stoppers. An event intended to dispel disinformation about the measles vaccine is being deemed a success by Manitoba's health minister. Uzama Azaguera says more than 6,300 folks joined the telephone town hall Wednesday night. People asked Manitoba health officials questions such as how effective the vaccine is, side effects, and what age to get the vaccine. Manitoba's health minister says they've noticed people are becoming more open to conversations about vaccines.
You can hear that people started to feel more and more comfortable with it, which is exactly what we want. We want for people to not feel any shame or embarrassment. We want them to know that asking questions about healthcare and about science is important, it's welcome, and that here in Manitoba, you're going to get your questions answered.
The minister says the province is also sharing information through billboards, social media posts, and community visits from public health nurses. Canada's new Governor General will be sworn in today. Louise Arbour is a former Supreme Court Justice, and today she will become Canada's 31st Governor General. Arbour also served as the UN Human Rights Commissioner and as Chief Prosecutor at The Hague. Once she's installed, she will go to the National War Memorial, where she'll inspect the Guard of Honor and place flowers in tribute to Canadians who have died in combat. Arbour succeeds Mary Simon, who has served in the role since 2021. A shooting at a music festival in Toledo, Ohio, has left at least 12 people injured, with 2 of the victims in critical condition.
Appears as though there was at least 2 shooters. I think they were probably shooting at each other, and what ended up happening was 12 people were struck with bullets. That's what we have right now. 2 of them critical. Processing the scene.
Police say at least 2 gunmen, possibly aiming at each other, may be responsible. A search for suspects continues, and there's no clear motive for the attack. In Ukraine, a Russian drone strike Sunday killed 3 people waiting at a bus stop in a southeastern part of the country. Elsewhere, a separate attack damaged a storage center for spent nuclear fuel in the Kyiv region. The drone strike sparked a fire that was extinguished within an hour, and radiation levels remain stable. The International Atomic Energy Agency says the incident is deeply concerning due to the large amounts of nuclear material at the facility. No injuries were reported. Over 1 million people turned out for a mass by Pope Leo in Spain Sunday, with more trying to get in. A crowd several rows deep cheered as the pontiff made his way to the service at a central Madrid plaza. He looped around the site and surrounding streets during the first papal visit to the country in 15 years. The Pope has been keen to especially encourage young people to find their faith in a once staunchly Catholic country where religious observance has declined. In Denmark, it was all business in the front and a party in the back this weekend. Hundreds gathered for the annual Mullet Championship. The raucous competition in Copenhagen attracted 12 well-coiffed competitors vying for the title. They were judged on style, uniqueness, and overall performance. 43-year-old construction worker Thomas Berg took home this year's top prize. That's great. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. The westbound curb lane on Portage will be closed between Golding and Minto Street. On Marion Street, the eastbound curb lane will be closed from Youville to Dufresne Avenue. And following the rush, the westbound curb lane on Abinogi-Miconaw will be closed from Dakota Street to River Road. If you have any other traffic tips, please send us a text.
All right, we're taking a look at gorgeous start to your day. It's hot out there. 22 degrees is our actual temperature, but it feels like 29. That's once you're factoring in those winds out of the south-southwest. They're gusting to 37 kilometers per hour. Pressure is rising and the humidity sitting at 81%. Look at those cool rings on our camera view. Neat. All right, it is warm out there this morning, incredibly so. So brace yourself for another hot day, a hot start to the week. There will be a great big cool down coming, though, in just a couple of days' time. But today, with that heat, could also get a little bit stormy. Let's take a look at where the action is right now. Southeastern Manitoba and into parts of northwestern Ontario. That's all that we're really seeing on the satellite image, but only because precipitation never reads across northern Manitoba, but you can bet there will be some. A very stormy day expected in parts of northeastern Manitoba with these low to mid 20 temperatures, Churchill being the exception, slightly cooler or considerably cooler, 8 degrees. In the northwestern part of the province, not as stormy, but still soggy in some places with some showers expected and the low 20 temperatures. So not far above what you would expect this time of year. Through southwestern Manitoba, 23 degrees would be a normal daytime high. Many of you will be right in that zone of what you would expect with a fair bit of sunshine, at least later on today. We maybe have a few extra clouds this morning. They'll be clearing as the day goes on. We too will notice the clearing throughout the day today, but in areas to the east of us, still that possibility of showers, maybe some thunderstorms, and a little bit warmer here in the northeast, more so into those high 20s or the low 20s as we're looking further east of us with the soggier conditions. That's where all the rain is headed. Now, I mentioned the heat for a couple of days. Yeah, today will be hot, tomorrow even hotter, up into the low 30s with that possibility of storms, and then a cool down comes that'll last into the weekend.
Thank you, Terry. Let's check in now on Bo and Gabby at Bounce 99.9. Good morning, you two. Happy Monday.
Happy. I loved your mullet story. You know, I had a great mullet in the 90s, although we called it a skullet.
Okay.
I didn't have much of a, I didn't have much business up here, but I had a lot of party.
You could still have a skullet. We can make it happen.
Yeah, maybe. Nice to see you yesterday at the Pride Parade. My gosh, it was hot, 34 degrees.
But we had a nice breeze
sweating.
to cool us off, though, so that was a perk.
Yeah, it was a wonderful time downtown, that's for sure. And this morning we're talking about things that were ruined because too many people found out about them. Rochelle, do you have something like that in your life?
Well, do you remember the Rachel haircut? That everybody. Do you remember that? Everybody got the Rachel haircut.
Yes.
At first I thought it was cool, it was beautiful, it looked good. And then everybody got it. And I was like, no Rachel cut for me. And then the whole 6'7" thing, I think it's done. It's a little passe. It's too trendy.
It's too trendy. That's fair. I'm still trying to wrap my head around 6'7", Bo.
Yeah, no, I didn't even bother. How about you, Gabs?
Yeah, mine comes from the grocery store.
Okay.
Blackberry ginger ale. It came out. It was amazing. We loved it. We bought many cartons of blackberry ginger ale. Then everybody caught on. Suddenly we were lining up at Freshco.
Oh,
we
no.
actually, but I mean, the shelves would be empty. You couldn't find the blackberry ginger ale, and this would go on for months. And now they no longer carry it. It's like people bought out all the blackberry ginger ale, and I am so sad because it was so delicious.
Now I want to try it.
Bo, do you have something? Yeah. Oh. Good luck. I'll let you know if I find any anywhere.
Okay.
I remember growing up, my parents used to love to go berry picking or mushroom picking, but they had these secret locations, so you never wanted to tell anybody, oh, there's a lot of blueberries over there. Keep that a secret, because next thing you know, everybody's picking the berries and there's none left. So that I do remember.
Aw, well, those are great tips. Okay, thanks, you guys, and I'm going to try that ginger ale for sure, Gabby. Thank you. What started as a pest problem in their home turned into a wild adventure for one Vancouver couple, and it's now inspired a new passion of saving squirrels. CTV's Adam Sawatsky explains.
When she looks back at pictures of her old home, little Woo will never forget that day she heard something weird in the walls.
Scurrying, and we're like, oh no, we have a rat problem.
So she and her partner Shane turned a box into a trap, placed it in front of the fireplace, and waited.
And then all of a sudden we heard a scurrying. We got it, slammed the door.
They carried the box to this nearby park and prepared to set the rat free.
Oh, it's a squirrel. Oh, hey, buddy.
I was, concerned about what we might find, to absolute joy.
But instead of running away, the baby squirrel stayed absolutely still.
So we were just trying to brainstorm, what do we do with this baby squirrel?
Little Woo and Shane agreed the squirrel needed its mom, but when they brought the baby back home, she didn't return for him.
Well, we were trying to come up with sounds like... I was like, we don't really know. We don't know.
So they found a recording of an actual squirrel's cry online, placed the baby on the ground, and played it. Less than a minute later,
we were shocked because
the mom appeared on the fence before racing to the ground to investigate.
It was testing, to see if there's something a little bit off, suspicious.
Then she moved close, scooped him up. The mom and baby reunited.
And I was like very choked up. Like I felt a sense of awe that this actually worked.
But this, it turns out, was just the beginning.
It was like a deja vu.
Over the next few days, they heard more scurrying and found way more squirrels in their fireplace.
Felt like a portal from another dimension full of squirrels. It was like one after another, they kept coming.
But this time, little Woo and Shane cared for them before driving them to an animal rescue. And once the babies were old enough, the whole family was released into the wild, leaving these humans feeling a deep affinity with squirrels.
So we'll always remember the time that the squirrels came through the portal and decided to give us the gift of being able to connect with them in that way.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News.
We're going to take a break now. We'll be back after this with your 7 o'clock headlines. Stay with us. It's Monday, June the 8th. Today, body cam rollout. Winnipeg police officers begin wearing body cameras this week in a new pilot project. Plus, Tariff Lifeline, why new funding could help thousands of Manitobans retrain for in-demand jobs. And Pride Power. Downtown Winnipeg was packed with color and celebration to kick off Pride Month. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Monday. It is 7 o'clock. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Terry's last Monday ever, which is exciting. But a little later, we're going to talk about Legos. Did you play Legos when you were a kid?
Yeah,
I mean,
of course
every
we did.
kid
Yeah,
pretty much
really
did. I really did too. And my kids obviously went through the Lego phase, and we've got Lego all over the house. Well, there are some grown-ups that love playing with Lego as well. So they're called the Manitoba Lego Users Group, or MB-LUG. So we're going to hear a little bit about an event that's coming up where everybody is welcome to come and build something fantastic. So we're going to find out more about that event. But if you want to do something outside, it's going to be a nice day for that.
It's going to be a hot day for that. Yeah, but if you love the heat, you've got a couple of more days to enjoy it before a great big cool down settles in throughout the middle part of the week. We're sitting at 22 degrees right now, so that is almost bang on a normal daytime high. Never mind morning temperatures that would have us sitting around 10 degrees. Now it feels more like 29. That's once you're factoring in that humidity. The breeze, we're welcoming that out of the south-southwest. It's gusting to 37 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising and the humidity sitting at 81%. Now maybe that breeze will be a little bit too much at times, but still happy to have that air moving when it is feeling so incredibly hot and perhaps a little bit stormy. We're seeing On the satellite image right now, a little bit of activity here in the southeastern part of the province. It's actually been a band of precipitation here that you can see it on the Futurecast from the northern part of the province right down into the south, and then it kind of broke off. So southern part is now moving further east into parts of northwestern Ontario. The part that was areas to the north of us still going to linger through central and northern Manitoba, so soggier day ahead expected across the north. But things will be clearing out for many of us. We'll see increasing amounts of sunshine. We'll feel the temperatures on the rise. And yes, thank goodness for that wind. Now, another round of storms possibly moving in for tomorrow. So Tuesday could get a little bit active as far as showers or thunderstorms go, and the possibility of severe thunderstorms. Following that, the precipitation might stick around for a couple of days, but the heat won't. We're talking back to seasonal temperatures in those low 20s, and then even dropping below seasonal as we're looking ahead to the coming weekend. And our art today is a big thanks to Brielle. I thought fairly fitting since yesterday was the Pride Parade. Thanks for sharing your rainbow with us, and keep the pictures coming to Winnipeg Weather, to ctvnewswinnipeg.ca through our website. And when you do that, you're entered to win a $100 gift card from Crocodile on Kenniston.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crocodile. Spend quality time with loved ones and paint memories together.
The northbound lanes on the St. James Bridge were closed after a serious motor vehicle collision early Sunday. Winnipeg police say around 12:30 a.m. on Sunday, officers were sent to a serious motor vehicle collision involving two motorcycles at Portage Avenue and Century Street. As you can see, a red motorcycle was lying on the northbound lanes of the bridge, with part of the Viscount Gord Hotel's parking lot also closed off to the public. Around 11 a.m., the northbound reopened. The traffic division is investigating. 40 Winnipeg police officers will start wearing body cameras this week. The new technology is part of a pilot project with the goal of equipping all frontline officers with the cameras. As CTV's Jeff Keel shows you now, Winnipeg police say this will improve accountability and safety.
Starting Wednesday, Winnipeg police officers will be wearing cameras to capture video when responding to a call.
Keeps them accountable, and then it gives you another side of the story.
For the sake of keeping everybody transparent, then absolutely.
Over the next 6 months, 40 frontline officers are being equipped with the cameras as part of a pilot project with the aim of outfitting up to 700 frontline officers in 2027. The cameras will be turned on when officers are responding to calls, doing enforcement, during investigations, and when an officer initiates an interaction with an individual. Police say this will hold everyone involved accountable.
We owe it to the membership, we owe it to the police service, and more importantly to the citizens of Winnipeg to show what is happening, how our officers are responding.
The WPS believes this will also improve safety. People may act differently if they know cameras are rolling, and police say the cameras will help prosecutors in court.
This is the best way to ensure that the facts come out.
But some members of the public may have privacy concerns being recorded by police.
I think it's important to be more clear to the public on what happens with the data.
Police say the video footage collected will be secured and the data is owned by the police and no one else has access, adding Canada and Manitoba have strict privacy rules compared to the U.S.
It's protected, it's retained as controlled by City of Winnipeg retention bylaws and only disclosed through appropriate means.
Police will be looking for feedback on the pilot program through public forums and a survey. Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Winnipeg is not alone. The Brandon Police Force started equipping officers with body cameras last week with a plan to phase in 65 of them. The federal and provincial governments are offering a lifeline to Manitobans affected by U.S. tariffs and broader economic uncertainty.
Canada's economy is changing. Global markets are shifting, industries are adapting, and workers are being asked to navigate increasing uncertainty.
That's Rebecca Chartrand, Minister responsible for Canadian Northern Economic Development Agency, announcing more than $18 million for the Canada-Manitoba Workforce Tariff Response Program. It's expected to help more than 2,000 workers gain new skills for in-demand jobs, such as through training or employment programs or directly through their employer. You can find all the details, including how to apply, by visiting the provincial government's website. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is making his pitch today on why Alberta should remain in Canada.
I want a strong Alberta within a united Canada.
The majority of Albertans who do think that Alberta has been treated unfairly, that it doesn't get the respect for the contribution it makes to the country, and to have someone speak to that could change the minds of those who are what we call soft separatists.
His keynote speech in Calgary will be the launch of Poilievre's campaign to promote a stronger Alberta within a united Canada. An excerpt of his speech shared with CTV News reads, quote, "We do not need a different country, Alberta. We need different government policies in Ottawa." The Carney government has signed a memorandum of understanding with Alberta on a potential pipeline, but Poilievre argues that doesn't go far enough. Alberta is set to hold a referendum on October 19th that will include several questions, including one related to independence. Canada's former top soldier says our country needs to be careful when it comes to rebuilding ties with China.
Trading is one thing, but China is very good at integrating its elements of national power, its diplomacy, its information, its military, and its economic tools, and to achieve national objectives. And we just need to go into any future relationships eyes wide open.
Ottawa and Beijing have set out to reset ties as they look for trade partners outside of the U.S. However, retired General Wayne Eyre told CTV's Question Period Canada should be careful about alienating Washington in the process. Thousands of Manitobans gathered to mark the start of Pride Month on Sunday. The annual Pride Parade marched through downtown Winnipeg, drawing thousands to show support for equality and tolerance. This year's Pride marshals include married couple Mira Kopiova and Jamie Komarniski, Jim Kane, and Youth Marshal Phoenix Harper. More than 150 groups marched in the parade this year, including the Rainbow Resource Centre, Bahagari Pride Manitoba, and Rainbow Outpatient Addiction Recovery. After a rally at the legislature, the parade made its way through downtown, ending up at Blue Cross Park. You can still view the full live stream of this year's Pride Parade by heading to our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. Here's a look at what's happening outside now on McPhillip Street. Things are moving quite well starting off this Monday morning. If you have any traffic tips to share with us, please send us a text at 10400.
Ottawa has pledged $15 million to a 100-megawatt solar project in Saskatchewan being developed by Greenwood Sustainable Infrastructure, clean energy business from the Libra Group. The federal funding was announced on Friday at the groundbreaking for what will be one of the province's largest photovoltaic sites. The Ontario Teachers' Pension Plan could be sitting on a paper windfall of as much as $11.6 billion from its early investment in Elon Musk's SpaceX, as the rocket and satellite company prepares to go public on Friday. Tech investor and commentator Sawyer Merritt highlighting the potential return on X, saying the pension fund's roughly $300 million investment could surge in value if SpaceX reaches its target IPO of about $1.75 trillion. Well, New York City is offering $50 World Cup tickets. Toronto says it's going to make money off its multi-million-dollar purchase of 3,500 World Cup tickets. Only 70 remain, and they should go soon. Another 50 are being put in a lottery draw. The total cost for 6 matches at BMO Field is estimated at $380 million. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhill. We're talking about Jeudi Franco, or Franco Thursdays, in the St. Boniface area. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Rochelle. Happy Monday. I don't know too much French. I know les bonbons, I know la crème glacée, and I was familiar with le bar when I walked into Le Patio. When you do Jeudi Franco, or Franco Thursdays, you can come and enjoy that alongside many other things like local vendors, local entertainment, even French lawn bowling. So stay with us throughout the morning as we explore that. We're chatting with a vendor who does local artisan jewelry. We're also speaking about the Winnipeg Waterways and that business that has recently received an award. There is mural watching too, mural tours. There's so many beautiful things happening in St. B, so come and enjoy it on a Thursday. It's the best thing to do in the summer.
Absolutely, especially when it's nice and hot like it is. Thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop. Another hot day today here in Winnipeg.
Scorching. I stepped outside and it's like a wall. Now, you also know know that we're dealing with our freezing cold studio right now.
Yes.
And so the contrast between absolute deep freeze indoors to stepping outside and like melting on contact, it feels like. Yes, it is warm. It is well above seasonal. But I mean, we're also dealing with some humidity as well that's making it feel even warmer than it is. So, for example, 22 degrees, already an above seasonal start to the day, because 10 would be a normal low and 23 a normal daytime high. So we're almost at that seasonal high, but then you factor in the humidity and it feels more like 29 out here, and it's not even 8 a.m. Whew. The breeze has tapered off, which doesn't help either. Now it's only an 18K wind out of the south-southeast. The pressure rising, humidity sitting at 81%. And yes, the sun has broken out from behind the clouds. So just another element to add to the scorching feel of it all out here this morning. The humidity, the heat, and now the lack of a breeze. But we are still expecting that wind to stay stronger throughout the day today. But it is only going to get hotter and the sky only getting clearer. That'll be the case to the southeast, whereas much of northern Manitoba will deal with precipitation today, especially stormy in the northeastern part of the province, whereas northwestern Manitoba might just deal with showers and rain. But certainly that precipitation will keep things a little bit cooler, more so in those low to mid 20s across northern Manitoba and even areas to the west of us. Here in the southeast, high 20s expected, low 30s for tomorrow, but that brings an end to the extreme heat. And then we're going to get cooler temperatures throughout the rest of the week.
Weather is brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
Thank you, Terry. It's time now for our question of the day. This Monday is National Best Friends Day, so we want to know, what do you want to say to your best friend today? You can text your answer to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response, and don't forget to include your name, please.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic, science-backed body contouring.
We'd also love to see pictures of you and your friends, so share that as well. At Your Morning Winnipeg, we're all about celebrating your amazing pets, furry, feathered, or scaly. Your Pet of the Week submissions have been amazing. We want to see more. Whether it's dogs, cats, birds, or any other pet pals, send them our way. Drop your pet photos and a fun little story about them to Pet of the Week at CTV.ca, and then catch us every Thursday to find out if your pet is our Pet of the Week on Your Morning Winnipeg. We're going to take a break now. We'll be back right after this. Good morning. One person was found dead and 3 others were taken to hospital after 2 fires on Friday and Saturday. Around 1:30 p.m. on Friday, firefighters were called to a 2-story apartment building in the 400 block of Ross Avenue in the Centennial neighborhood. Crews went inside and brought the blaze under control about 30 minutes later. Firefighters found one person in the suite where the fire started. That person was pronounced dead at the scene. Around 3 a.m. on Saturday, crews were called to a 2-story home in the 500 block of Flora Avenue in the Dufferin neighborhood. Crews arrived and rescued 3 people who were trapped inside the home. They were all transported to hospital, one in unstable condition. Both fires are under investigation. Meanwhile, a firefighter was injured and one person was also sent to hospital after a Saturday night fire. Crews were sent to a 2-story rooming house in the 300 block of Redwood Avenue around 9:30 p.m. on Saturday. That's in Winnipeg's William White neighborhood. Crews fought the fire from the inside and brought it under control about 30 minutes later. All residents evacuated, but one person was sent to hospital in unstable condition. A firefighter was injured at the scene and also sent to hospital in stable condition. The investigation continues. Excitement for the World Cup is building as Team Canada arrives in Toronto ahead of our first match on Friday. Fans came out to greet the men's national team at Billy Bishop Airport. The team was coming from Montreal, where they played Ireland, to a 1-1 draw in a final tune-up game. The next time they play, it will be the real thing. The first World Cup, or the first World game, Cup game on home turf is happening in Canadian history.
It's something special. Like, everyone has been looking forward to this competition for a long time, and yeah, to come here, you know, knowing in the back of our mind we're preparing and about to play, you know, one of the biggest tournament, the biggest tournament in country football.
Now our attention switches totally to the tournament and to our first opponent in Bosnia.
Team Canada will open the tournament on Friday against Bosnia and Herzegovina. Here's a look at traffic now along Kenniston and Sterling Lion Way. We have no issues to tell you about at this point in the drive. If you see any problems out there, though, send us a text at 10400. The Tony Awards were handed out in New York City last night, and as promised, Pink kicked things off with a huge performance. Also making appearances were Megan Thee Stallion, Neil Patrick Harris, and more than 100 other Broadway performers. As for the awards, Shamigadoon won Best New Musical, Ragtime won Best Musical Revival, and top acting awards in a musical went to its stars Joshua Henry and Casey Levy, who is from Hamilton. Levy is the first Canadian actress to ever win in this category, and the award for Best New Play went to Liberation. A hometown favorite is being added to the lineup for this summer's Burt Block Party. Rock and roll supergroup Took is joining the August 15th lineup alongside Colin James and Streetheart. The 6th edition of the Block Party returns this year between August 13th and 16th, directly in front of the Burton Cummings Theatre. Previously announced headliners include Kill Switch Engage, The Beaches, and Collective Soul, among many others. Tickets are available through Ticketmaster. Your Monday primetime lineup kicks off at 7 with the Quiz with Balls. Next, catch American Ninja Warrior at 8. It's all right here tonight on CTV. All right, today's going to be a really nice hot day again, but it's going to be windy.
Yeah, there's going to be a breeze, although when I was upstairs on the rooftop just 10 minutes ago, that breeze seemed to have tapered off almost altogether, and it was almost unbearably, stiflingly hot out there. And that's coming from somebody that loves the heat, but maybe it was just that shock to the system of coming from the cold and stepping outside. We are dealing with some hot temperatures still for the next couple of days, similar to what we experienced over the weekend, but then in fact things will cool down for the latter part of the week. We're taking a look through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. Some heavier clouds still lingering out there, but they're starting to clear out, and in spaces where that sun is able to get through, that's where it's just feeling it beating down. Oh my goodness, the intensity of the sun this time of year, well, you know, so make sure that you're slathered up with the sunscreen and staying hydrated, especially with where these temperatures are headed, although they're already at seasonal values. 22 degrees here in Winnipeg, 23 is a normal daytime high, so we're pretty much in that zone. And similar temperatures through the southeast in the low 20s, a little bit cooler off to the west of us, some mid to high teens to kick things off this morning. And you're likely to stay a few degrees cooler, closer to those more seasonal temperatures throughout that western and southwestern side, and in fact right up into northwestern, some low to mid 20s expected, which could be the case over into the northeast as well. You can see you're already in those high teens. Churchill will be the exception to that. Churchill might only climb to a high of about 8 degrees with a few extra clouds, but the possibility of showers, thunderstorms even. Thunderstorms especially in this northeastern part of the province. I know it doesn't look like much more than clouds. Precipitation doesn't read up north, but you can see that precipitation here in areas to the east of us is already rolled past without really giving much to Winnipeg. So we remained on the drier side. I know last night I checked the conditions. I brought all my patio cushions indoors, and then we never saw a drop of rain here in Winnipeg. But your flowers, they'll be desperate for a bit of a drink. I know mine were on the rooftop. Anyway, as we continue through the day, we'll see increasing amounts of sunshine with these clouds clearing out, getting up to 26 degrees by the time kids are coming home from school today. 27 our expected high. Still hot tomorrow too, up to 31 degrees with the possibility of showers or thunderstorms. After that, the temperature is stabilizing somewhat, getting a little bit cooler through the latter part of the week. A couple of bears cropped out of this one. There's another 2 cubs up high in the tree, so 3 cubs altogether. This mama has her hands full. Taken in the Pinawa area, thanks to Mark for the photo. Keep them coming to Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca.
June 8th, 1966. The American and National Football Leagues announced plans to merge, taking effect in 1970. Up to that point, the AFL and NFL were fierce rivals, battling for players, TV contracts, and fans. The merger produced today's 2-conference structure made up of the AFC and NFC. June 8th, 2022. The federal government named Kimberly Murray as its special interlocutor for residential schools. The former executive director of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission was expected to work with Indigenous communities to bring justice to Indigenous children and their families. June 8th, 2023. Former U.S. President Donald Trump said he had been indicted on charges of mishandling classified documents at his Florida estate. The indictment centered on allegations Trump had improperly retained classified documents after leaving the White House.
The Assiniboine Park Conservancy celebrated the first anniversary of a beneficial partnership.
We've been working with Wildlife Haven over the past year, and it's really been a great collaboration.
Since the Assiniboine Park Conservancy and Wildlife Haven launched their drop-off center, it's taken in over 315 animals. It allows people to drop off sick or injured and orphaned wildlife at the park to receive temporary care before being transferred to Wildlife Haven in Île-des-Chênes. Over the last year, the center has received a range of mammals, reptiles, and birds.
We frequently see certain things like baby bunnies, for example, or Canada geese goslings, but we've had some pretty unique ones come through too, like snowy owl, beaver.
29 volunteers are trained to accept the animals at the center, and another 18 help transport them to Wildlife Haven. But both groups say they could benefit from more help. If you find a wild animal in need of care, the first step is to call Wildlife Haven for guidance. For all those who play team sports, check out this contest. Tell us about your most memorable fun team moment. Attach a picture, and you will be entered into a draw to win a $100 gift card from Chicken Chef. Plus, your picture and story could be featured right here on our show. Ellie sent this photo and said, "My dance team on our grad celebration night at our recital. It was my last year of dance." Thanks for sharing, Ellie. You can also participate in this contest. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form with your answer and your picture. Good luck.
Your Manitoba sports team moment brought to you by Chicken Chef, where memories are made.
Ainsley McPhail is talking Jeudi Franco, also known as Franco Thursday. Stay with us for more. Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail. We're talking about Jeudi Franco, otherwise known as Franco Thursdays, and there's so many different things going on and a lot of different programming. Good morning.
Good morning. If you want to learn French or brush up on some of your skills, you can actually do it on this delightful patio in St. B. Elise Tetio joins us now to share all about how others can take part in the fun. So why are you guys doing this?
Yeah, so this is a lot happening on Le Patio 340 this summer, especially because we have a new collaboration with the CDM, with the French Alliance, with Freeze Frame and Cinemental. So we will be welcoming movies under the stars every Thursday from June 25 to September 3. So yeah, the full programming is already available on Franco Thursday website. So please check it out. There's something for everyone, like psychological thrillers, comedies, dramas, animated movies. Animated movies, a lot of different things. So yeah, as in previous years, all the screenings will be completely free and in French with English subtitles.
Perfect. Yeah. It's funny because I asked you about the language learning, but it's okay. It's okay. It's like you knew what I would be interested in because I almost failed French class. So, but I love movies. So that was absolutely perfect for me. Somebody who has a better attention span than me, they can actually learn French at a beginner level.
Yeah. So you can still learn French while watching movies, but yeah, we will have, just to practice listening. But yeah, the University of Saint Boniface will be offering little, very short sessions to learn basic French. So you would be able to introduce yourself, to talk about your occupations, to what else, to order at the restaurants. So yeah. Yeah.
You know what I've learned? I should come, but you know what I've learned too is that there's no excuse for me to not be learning French. I was like, oh, I didn't have a good attention span. She's like, no, actually, you can watch the movies and do it. Just come. So you know what? I will do that. That'll be a new goal of mine.
And then we can chat in the office. Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Apparently, she thinks that's funny.
Because we can't chat now. En anglais.
En anglais, yes, exactly. The S is silent.
Oh.
En anglais, say that.
En anglais.
There you go.
All right, we're looking at really warm temperatures this morning, 22 degrees, though it feels like 29. Those winds this morning, they're out of the south-southeast, 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising, the humidity sitting at 81%. See, you can go down to St. B, or you could come to our studio and get your French lessons right here, courtesy of Rachel Legacy. See, how was I done? That's great. Okay. All right. Heavier clouds around Manitoba. You can see it's clearer off to the west of us. That clearing will take place here in Manitoba as well. We'll see increasing amounts of sunshine. Where there's precipitation, that will continue to push further to the east, but there's more. It just doesn't read. That'll be passing across northern Manitoba, where things will be a little bit soggy, perhaps a little bit stormy today, especially stormy in the northeastern part of Manitoba. Especially hot here in the southeast. In fact, 27 degrees, but is already feeling like 29 on top of a 22-degree temperature. So you can imagine how much warmer it's going to be feeling as the day goes on. There will be a bit of a breeze, which we'll be grateful for, gusting at times to 50 kilometers per hour. The sky clearing, increasing amounts of sunshine, and then clear conditions expected overnight. 14 degrees, south winds, they'll have tapered off in the overnight hours, increasing though throughout the day tomorrow with those temperatures on the rise. Up to 31 degrees, that possibility of showers or thunderstorms again for tomorrow. And then following that, precipitation continuing as those temperatures drop off and remain a little bit cool and below seasonal for the weekend.
Merci, Terry. With high fuel and fertilizer costs already squeezing farmers, many in rural Manitoba are facing another costly challenge: theft. Recent copper wire thefts are leaving some producers with damaged equipment and hefty repair bills.
It's going to be around that 20 grand that we're going to have to spend to fix it.
Farmer Rachel Prodden is referring to her farm's pivot irrigation system and the copper wire that was stolen from the system recently. The theft rendered it unusable. The damage hasn't stopped there. Prodden says the copper wire in one of her corn planters was also stripped, completely destroying the equipment in the process. She says they were forced to buy a new machine, which cost them around $50,000 to replace. In response to similar incidents, others in the region have already implemented extensive security measures to help prevent future theft. Near Elm Creek, Colin Penner has installed security cameras and additional lighting around his property. He says the rise in rural theft is troubling.
Rural theft, it's a big thing, right? We depend on our tractors, our trucks, and our equipment for our livelihood. And when they disappear on us, it can really impact how we can do our job.
Manitoba brought in the Scrap Metal Act 4 years ago. That bans the sale of stripped metallic wire without proof of ownership. But Prodden says more needs to be done. In the meantime, she's offering a $10,000 reward for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of those responsible for the recent thefts. Winnipeg could be getting a new regional park. A motion before the Property and Development Committee recommends the Public Service look into the cost to acquire 40 hectares of land in Precinct D. That includes an area west of McPhillips to Pipeline Road and heading north to the perimeter from Story Road. The motion says the Winnipeg Park strategy calls for a new regional park to be built for every 100,000 people, but there hasn't been a new one since the 1960s. The committee will look at the motion on June 11th. History will be made in Canada's capital later today as the 31st Governor General will be sworn into office. Former Supreme Court Justice Louise Arbour will step into the role replacing Mary Simon, whose 5-year term as Governor General is ending. Arbour has served as United Nations Human Rights Commissioner and Chief Prosecutor at The Hague. The chair of the Liberal caucus is disputing a Toronto Star report that indicates the Prime Minister is dismissive and has been known to yell at MPs.
Absolutely false. I sit closer to him in caucus than I'm sitting to you right now. When I read that 2 nights ago, I had a variety of emotional reactions. One of them was, concern. One of them was anger. One was great disappointment because it's not true.
James Maloney calls the reporting factually incorrect regarding MPs approaching him about Carney's leadership style. He added he's never heard the Prime Minister yell. At least 32 people have been killed in an earthquake in the Philippines. The 7.8 magnitude quake also sparked a 1-meter tsunami along nearby coasts. There's been extensive damage to some buildings. More than 200 other people were hurt. Tsunami damage was also reported in at least one coastal village, and smaller waves were measured in Indonesia and Palau. It was the strongest quake to strike the Philippines this year. 6 people were hurt in a stabbing at New York's Penn Station. Emergency officials say one person was seriously hurt. The rest suffered moderate to minor injuries. A suspect was taken into custody after a manhunt. No word yet on charges. It comes as the city gets ready to host the NBA Finals tonight and Wednesday. U.S. President Donald Trump is planning to go to Game 3 tonight, and Madison Square Garden sits directly above the busy station. The geese went marching 2 by 2 and remembered to merge with traffic. This gaggle of geese hit the streets in Vancouver last week, clearly on a mission to get somewhere. Traffic came to a stop to let the flock through, and some good Samaritans even helped shepherd them to safety. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. The westbound curb lane on Portage will be closed between Golding and Minto Street. On Madillon Street, the eastbound curb lane will be closed from Youville to Dufresne Avenue. And following the rush, the westbound curb lane on Abinogi-Mikanol will be closed from Dakota Street to River Road. If you see any issues out on the streets, please send us a text to let us know. Here's a look at your gas prices now. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.56. It was $1.58 on Friday. And the lowest price in the city is $1.49. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Here's a look outside right now. We're sitting at 22 degrees. That camera is shaking. It's a little windy as well. Your news and weather is next on CTV Morning Live.
We're seeing a little bit of sunshine coming out from behind the clouds, and it is warm already. 22 degrees, though it feels like 29. That's once you're factoring in the humidity this morning. The breeze, you can see it shaking the camera. It's going to start to increase again. It's out of the south-southeast, just 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising and that humidity sitting at 81%. 22 is practically a normal daytime high, 23 being that very seasonal temperature. But it's feeling like 29 already. It's not even 8 a.m. A scorcher of a day on tap, mostly with what it feels like, I think. And it's just so incredibly muggy, that heavy air out there. The storms missed us. The activity is now moving off to the east into northwestern Ontario. There's a lot more moving across northern Manitoba as well, though. That could come in the form of thunderstorms for much of northeastern Manitoba and these low to mid-20 temperatures. For most places, Churchill will be the exception to that. Some showers, but a much cooler high of just 8 degrees. Showers or some rain throughout the northwest, not likely as stormy, but windy. That's the icon that you're seeing there in the paw at 22 degrees. Swan River also expecting wind strong enough that you just get a wind icon to go along with it. We too can expect some strong winds gusting to about 50 kilometers per hour, so that's no light breeze, certainly. Low 20 temperatures or mid 20 temperatures throughout the southwestern part of the province. We're likely to be up into those mid to high 20 temperatures here in the southeast, with those areas to the east of us still in the path of showers or thunderstorms, and that'll be the case throughout northwestern Ontario as well. A little bit soggier today with the mid-20 temperatures expected. Now, tomorrow could still be on the hotter side, up to 31 degrees with that chance of storms. And then we'll see a cool down coming as the precipitation lingers for another couple of days, but then clears out for the weekend, or at least some sunshine, but those temperatures stabilizing or slipping below seasonal.
Thank you, Terry. Let's go back now to Ainsley, who's hanging out in St. Boniface. It's all about Franco Thursdays and supporting the businesses and vendors that will be set up there. Good morning.
Good morning. What a privilege it is for me to be able to just do my shopping this early in the morning. Mano Kamal joins us now, and she's one of the vendors here at GT Franco Thursdays. Thank you so much for joining me today. What beautiful pieces. How did it all start for you?
Well, for me, it all started, I'm Métis, so I've always been around beadwork and creations around my culture. And I had a specific vision of a pair of earrings, of a Métis sash earrings, but really, really long. And I looked for them for a few years. I couldn't find them, so I was like, you know what, I'll just make them. And that's kind of how I got into it.
So as if you learned how to do this in just a couple of years, was it hard?
Not really. I've heard that like most people, either you have it or you don't, that either like you'll pick it up super, super quickly, or you'll get super frustrated and kind of give up on it. And luckily it was something that kind of became my medicine and relaxes me. So I'm pretty lucky with that one.
Oh, you're the latter half of it. Look at these designs, but also the color. That's what really draws me to them. What inspires you?
For me, it's hard to do a variety of colors because I'm really inspired by the colors of the land. So I always have to remind myself to not always use the same colors. And I always get custom orders that kind of push me out of my comfort zone, that by the end I'm like, okay, this is pretty, not what I would have made, but it always ends up beautiful. So I try to make a variety and just see, I take inspiration from different things I see around and what people wear a lot.
And when it comes to Franco Thursdays, it's been gaining popularity. Tons of people come to this. Why should others come, even if it's not just for the jewelry, but just for the vibe?
I think it's such a beautiful opportunity for people to come kind of meet the community. We have such amazing people in the Francophone community. So that's a big reason for other people to come, but also for people in the community to get out and see people and celebrate. When I do markets, I always bring my mom along, but I never see her the entire night because she's out socializing and seeing people she knows. So it's just nice to meet new people and connect with different people in the community for sure.
Thank you so much for this. Coming up, we're chatting with Winnipeg Waterways.
Thank you, Ainsley. Some fish reproduce easily in lakes across the country, keeping up their populations, but others need some help. If you get a bite on a line in the Saskatchewan lake this summer, you may have to thank some human intervention. CTV's Allison Bamford explains.
Nelson Berg is testing the waters.
So our lake water is 17.5 degrees.
Which means the water in here has to warm up before he can stock this reservoir with fish.
So these walleye fry have finished acclimating to the lake water temperature.
They're hard to see, but inside these containers, 150,000 baby walleye, known as fry, that just hatched a few days ago at the Saskatchewan Fish Hatchery. So small that surviving in their new habitat will be an uphill battle.
The expected survival rate for the fry at the size that they're stocked at is probably less than 10%.
This is the fish hatchery's busy season. The group restocks millions of fish in more than 100 bodies of water, just like this one, all across the province. Berg manages the Saskatchewan Fish Hatchery, where they raise trout and walleye. The province uses them to populate public fishing spots, especially man-made lakes.
Walleye is the most popular game fish species within Saskatchewan, and anglers want as much opportunity as they can without having to drive long distances from home in order to go out and fish for those species.
This year, anglers will have to pay for a habitat certificate on top of their provincial fishing license. Part of the revenue will go towards expanding the fish hatchery, creating a space dedicated for walleye to grow beyond the fry stage before being stocked.
The fish are larger, they survive much better when stocked at those larger sizes.
Not all lakes need to be stocked. Many naturally produce walleye. As for the fry that Berg stocked here, it will likely take them 3 years before they grow big enough to catch. Allison Bamford, CTV News, Craik, Saskatchewan.
In Denmark, it was all business in the front and party in the back this weekend. Hundreds gathered for the annual Mullet Championships. The raucous competition in Copenhagen attracted 12 well-coiffed competitors vying for the title. They were judged on style, uniqueness, and overall performance. 43-year-old construction worker Thomas Berg took home this year's top prize. Let's see who's celebrating a milestone today. Happy 77th birthday, Alex, with love from your wife, Lydia. Happy birthday, Isla, love mom and dad. Happy 22nd birthday to Marcel from mom, dad, Coco, nephew, siblings, and the rest of your family. And a happy 52nd wedding anniversary to Greg and Mary with love from family and friends. To submit your milestone, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance.
Weather is brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
All right, 23 degrees, a normal daytime high. Oh, Oh, did I not update this one? We're not expecting 23 today. Yeah, I did. I got everything except for today's high, right? Okay, we're actually expecting a high of 27 today. The average is 23. Last year, 16.1 degrees, and the record from 1970 of 36. Yeah, just ignore today's high because that's not going to be it. It is going to be much warmer than that. That's almost where we are already. And it's going to soar well beyond that. The sun is out shining. It's going to continue to clear throughout the day today. We had some heavier clouds over us last night as a band of precipitation got very close to Winnipeg, but then split off right around Winnipeg and continued off through the southeast and through northern Manitoba. And now we're just dealing with clearing conditions and these very strong winds, which I'm happy that that breeze has picked up again. It's still registering at the airport at 18 clicks. I promise you it's a lot stronger than that right now. 22 is where we're sitting. It feels like 29. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 81%. And yes, we are in for some hot temperatures today. Not scorching, not into the 30s as it was over the weekend, but with that humidity, it could feel like that. 27 degrees is where we'll likely top out today. That wind is like pushing me along right now, my goodness. You're going to need to water your own flowers here in Winnipeg. Some parts of the province, like much of northern Manitoba, will deal with some precipitation in the form of storms. Temperatures will be settling through the latter part of the week, but heat for the next couple days.
Thank you, Terry. And there's no age limit to playing with toys, especially if that toy is Lego. There are many grown-ups who love to play with the iconic blocks, and there are Lego kits designed just for adults. Here in Manitoba, there's a group called MB Lug, or the Manitoba Lego Users Group, and they have a big event coming up. It's called River City Brick Fest. And joining us now is local Lego enthusiast and ambassador for MB Lug, Scott Templeton. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, you obviously played with Lego when you were a boy.
Of course. Yeah, I never grew out of it.
So you never stopped? It just kept going?
No, maybe a little bit when I was in my teenage years, you know, because I was too cool for it. But I was never able to get rid of it. I always kept it on the shelf. I still took care of it. So it never left.
Okay, so what is it about the little bricks that people love so much?
I think a lot of it's the creative element. You know, it's limitless, right? Whether you're passionate about buildings or space, whatever it is, you can do anything with Lego bricks. There's also a big mental health element to it. It's just so therapeutic, so relaxing. Anybody can pick up a bin of bricks and use it, regardless of what your age is. So it's for everybody, and you can do anything with it.
And this group, your organization, is mainly for adults, but there are parents who have their kids involved with some of the activities.
Absolutely. So we're an adult-driven group, but we do have a lot of members that have their kids get involved, and it's really cool. And some of these kids were, you know, maybe 12 years old when they first kind of started coming into meetings and things with their parents, and now, you know, all these years later, they're an adult as well, and it's kind of cool to see them grow and share that passion for Lego.
So tell us about the group itself and how often you unite and play with Lego together.
Sure. So we're about 50 to 60 members from across Manitoba, southern Manitoba, Winnipeg, and we all have the same passion for Lego, and within that we have various interests. We come together to have meetings where we share our passion for the brick. We come together to do events like the one coming up this weekend. We also do a lot of different work in the community with charities and organizations like that. So we get involved fairly regularly. We're all in constant communication and planning different events and different initiatives to help out in the community and really just spread the joy of Lego.
And your group is expanding, so you're always looking for new members. What do you want people to know about why they should join your club?
Absolutely. It's for anybody. If you have a passion for Lego, it's a good opportunity for you. We always tell people there's no theme requirement. There's we don't look for, oh, you have to have a certain skill level. No, if you're a collector of Lego and you want to join a community that shares that same passion, we're probably the right place for you.
Okay, now let's talk about this event that's coming up Saturday. It's really going to be fun for everybody, right? Tell us about it.
Absolutely. So it's a free event at Grant Park Mall. It's from 10 to 6. It's right in Center Court. We're going to have about 20 plus tables of custom Lego creations, some small, some big. We're going to have a whole area where kids can come and play. We've got a scavenger hunt. We've got voting, so fans can come in and vote for their favorite build. We have a little competition. We've even got got a little free make and take build, so the first 250 people through the door can actually build a little miniature Manitoba and take it home with them. It's going to be awesome. We've actually got 2 people that are driving in from out of town. Someone's coming in just for the day all the way from British Columbia because they want to share their passion for Lego, which is incredible.
And so you've had this event in the past. What sort of response do you get from the public when they're able to just sort of sit down with Lego and play?
Absolutely. Yeah, this is our 3rd year doing it, and we seem to grow a little bit more every year. And it's always an amazing reception. People, I find, are often amazed, at these Lego creations. We do a lot of what are called mocks, or my own creation. So people will come in, hey, can I buy this at the store? No, you can't, but you can go buy some bricks and try to build your own.
That is so neat.
So people are often just in shock, and it's a great place to just network. We always run into people that never heard about us, and the next thing we know, they're at a meeting with us in the following month. So
River City Brick Fest happening Saturday at Grant Park Mall. If you want more information, we have a link on our website. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello there, Matt Scooby inside the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. Alexander Zverev won his first ever Grand Slam title at Roland Garros and had an interesting post-match exchange with former tennis pro Sam Querrey.
When that final overhead went long off the racket of Kaboli.
Sam Querrey.
Sam Q.
Sam Querrey. Why are you on this channel? Who hired you?
Man, I knew that was coming.
Why are you here? You got like all champions, and then you got Sam Querrey. What is he doing?
John, is there a champion? Wow. My question is, when that final overhead went long, did you feel more relief from within or more excitement?
First of all, I'm very happy that I'm holding this because you said I will never will. So thank you very much for your confidence. Just for the people that don't know, we have a love-hate relationship with Sam, and I actually love it. I enjoy it. So I love giving you a hard time.
Quite the exchange. Today in TSN, you can see Game 3 of the NBA Finals between the Spurs and the Knicks at 7 Central. New York looking to take a 3-0 series lead. Who would have thunk it? That's all for now from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a great day.
The TSN must-see moment is brought to you by Super Blinds and Draperies, featuring Hunter Douglas products.
It's Monday, June the 8th. Policing in Winnipeg comes into focus. How many body-worn cameras are about to hit the streets with officers as part of a pilot project? The Prime Minister prepares to attend a G7 summit in Europe, which major topics are likely to dominate this week's agenda as world leaders gather. And a weekend of fun and camaraderie as one of Winnipeg's longest-running neighborhood festivals takes over the streets in downtown Transcona. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. It's 8 o'clock on your Monday. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Now, when it's summertime, when it's any time, it's good to go outside and play. You should encourage your kids to get off their tablets and at least spend a little bit of time in the outdoors. It's good for their mental health. It's also good for their physicality. And it's really good for their brains as well.
And it's really good for the parents to get a break.
Yes,
get outside, kids.
Indeed. Well, the event Right to Play is coming up this weekend as well with Sammy Jo Small, who, of course, is a Winnipeg world award-winning hockey player. She's going to join us to give us some reminders on why playing outside is not just good for parents, but also really great for kids. But when it's this hot, maybe you want to bring a water bottle to cool off when it's this muggy.
Stay hydrated. Make sure that you're slathered up with the sunscreen. But by all means, I mean, listen, my favorite place to be when it gets like this is outdoors. Even though I might find myself in the shade, because it's not quite as scorching hot in the shade, or it doesn't feel quite so intense, but it's still lovely out there. And today, a bit of a breeze to go along with that heat. 22 degrees with that south-southeast wind, 18 kilometers per hour. Now it feels like 29 with pressure rising and that humidity at 81%. So yes, there's a bit of heaviness to the air this morning. It's muggy out there for sure. We had that chance of storms passing through overnight. I know I checked the weather before I went to bed. I brought all my patio cushions inside just in case. Well, just in case never happened for us here in Winnipeg. The precipitation ended up moving in areas to the south of us. This band was coming toward us. It's not even looking like a band anymore because it's split off through northern Manitoba. That's where there will be some precipitation today. A little bit through the central part, a little bit more through the southeastern part. Northern Manitoba will see more of that throughout the day today. And then, yes, it does develop back into a band all along that eastern border. So that's where things could be a little more active today, is northeastern Manitoba and along that eastern border. Many of us will just see things clearing out today, staying clear overnight. Tomorrow, clear to kick things off, but that possibility of showers or thunderstorms, possibly severe ones, passing through late tomorrow or by Wednesday morning into northern Manitoba, where they'll continue throughout the day. Now, we could still see more precipitation through the week and some much cooler temperatures too, but still hot for the next couple, and then things settle down a little bit and remaining a little bit cool and below seasonal for the coming weekend. Thank you, Brielle, 5 years old, for your multi-dimensional art. We'd love to see more of what you're working on, so please send pictures of your art through our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and when you do, you're entered to win a $100 gift card from Crockadoodle on Kenniston.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crockadoodle. Spend quality time with loved ones and paint memories together.
Breaking news about the effects of heavy rainfall in the area north and east of Swan River. The rural municipality of Minnetonka's Bozeman reports there is a boil water advisory in the area this morning until further notice. To complicate the situation further, Manitoba Hydro reports an outage in the area affecting over 400 customers. Significant rainfall in the area overnight has closed Highway 10 from Highway 366 to Renwer. Detours are in effect. Minnetonka's is asking residents to shelter in place during the emergency. Hydro estimates power will be restored later this morning. Some Winnipeg police officers will start wearing body cameras this week. The new technology is part of a pilot project with the eventual goal of equipping all frontline officers with the cameras.
We owe it to the membership, we owe it to the police service, and more importantly to the citizens of Winnipeg to show what is happening, how our officers are responding.
Over the next 6 months, 40 frontline Winnipeg police officers are being equipped with the cameras as part of a pilot project with the aim of outfitting up to 700 frontline officers in 2027. The cameras will be turned on when officers are responding to calls, doing enforcement, during investigations, and when an officer initiates an interaction with an individual. Police say this will hold everyone involved accountable. The WPS believes this will also improve safety if people know the cameras are rolling and help police and prosecutors in court. But some members of the public may have privacy concerns being recorded by police.
I think it's important to be more clear to the public on what happens with the data.
Police say the video footage collected will be secured and the data is owned by the police and no one else has access. Adding Canada and Manitoba have strict privacy rules compared to the U.S. Police will be looking for feedback from the pilot program through public forums and a survey. Prime Minister Mark Carney will head to Europe later this week for the G7 Leaders Summit. While there, Carney will meet with allies to tackle global challenges, look to attract more investment into Canada, and increase security ties with Europe. The summit runs from June 15th to the 17th in France with a focus on reducing global inequalities. Ahead of the summit, Prime Minister Carney is expected to make stops in Paris and Ireland. He leaves Thursday. Canada's former top soldier says our country needs to be careful when it comes to rebuilding ties with China.
Trading is one thing, but China is very good at integrating its elements of national power, its diplomacy, its information, its military, and its economic tools, and to achieve national objectives. And we just need to go into any future relationships eyes wide open.
Ottawa and Beijing have set out to reset ties as they look for trade partners outside of the U.S. However, retired General Wayne Eyre told CTV's Question Period Canada should be careful about alienating Washington in the process. Breaking news this morning from the Middle East. Iran's military has announced it will stop strikes against Israel. Iran's announcement comes after the two sides traded waves of strikes in a test of a 2-month ceasefire. Although Iran says it will stop attacks, Tehran is also warning of harsher attacks if Israel resumes strikes on Lebanon. Iran said it struck northern Israel yesterday in response to attacks on Beirut. U.S. President Donald Trump said earlier this morning a deal to halt attacks was close. Winnipeggers may soon be able to start getting their trailers and boats ready for the camping season a little earlier than normal. A motion making its way through City Hall would permit one recreational vehicle, travel trailer, or motorhome to be parked on a driveway leading to a home or in a side or rear yard between May 1st and October 31st. Currently, that's only allowed between May 15th and October 31st. The plan would still need a public hearing before moving through full council. Downtown Transcona was filled with hellos over the weekend.
To me, it's just the feeling of family, neighborhood, kind of old school values to unplug and just enjoy the moment.
The 2026 Transcona High Neighbor Festival took over part of downtown over the weekend. This year marked the 62nd year for the festival, connecting neighbors to each other. A motor parade, amusement rides, a pancake breakfast, live music, and more took over not just the downtown, but also other locations in Transcona for lots of attendees. Here's a look at the current traffic situation now along the St. James Bridge. Things are moving quite well. The traffic volumes are still quite light at this point. If you see any problems out on your drive, please let us know.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
Let's go back now to Ainsley. We're talking Jeudi Franco or Franco Thursdays. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. If you woke up this morning and thought, I wish I knew more about Louis Riel, we have the best opportunity for you. We're chatting with Winnipeg Waterways, and Will Belford joins us now. There's French and English tours during Jeudi Franco Thursdays. Tell us all about them.
Absolutely. So normally we operate every single day. From the Forks. Those would be our usual sort of classic English tours, but we're happy to come back and be part of the Jeudi Franco programming again this year. So every Thursday we'll be conducting our classic tours, also in French, from St. Boniface.
And you got a tourism award. Congratulations. So that means people outside of Manitoba love what you do, but locally it's good for people to connect with their own history, and you're doing just that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of folks, even if they haven't heard of us before, because we're at the Forks, they see the boats, they come down, they say, hey, let's go for a boat ride. And then we surprise them with, they get to know a lot of facts about Winnipeg, our history, Métis, Louis Riel. And yeah, we get to share about our hometowns.
And really connecting to the water. There's something to be said about being at the water. It gives you a feeling, but also brings us back to our heritage. What are some things people will be learning?
Oh, golly, there's so much. I mean, yeah, we were talking before, the water is why we're here. You know, the Red River and the Assiniboine River, these are really sort of the original highways and how people got around for thousands of years. And so that's why we're here. Not only that, but Winnipeg has quite a dramatic history with flooding, you know, in part because this is the location of an ancient glacial lake, Lake Agassiz. And so there's lots of stories about water that you know, span millennia, and so we try to share as much as we can. And of course we also talk about some of the industry and like how Winnipeg is here because of the industry of using these waterways. You know, for instance, Métis using York boats to ferry equipment and resources, you know, down from the north. And so yeah, lots of stories to share.
Well, if you don't want to read your history book, you can just enjoy a nice cruise.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ainsley. If you're trying to plan out your Folk Fest weekend, check out this Your Morning Winnipeg contest. The 51st edition of Folk Festival runs July 9th to the 12th out at Birds Hill Park. Taking the main stage, Father John Misty, Lucy Dacus, Sylvan Esso, and Monsters and Men. This is your chance to win 4 tickets and invite your family and friends to enjoy all 4 days of the Winnipeg Folk Festival. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca, and don't forget to enter the keyword HAPPY. Good luck.
It's a warm one out there right now, not that you could tell by looking through our Live Eyes. CTV Live Eye is brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. Because some places we've still got some heavier clouds hanging around, but I promise you, step outside and you're walking into a wall of heat. The humidity is high this morning and those temperatures are on the rise. It is going to be a well above seasonal day. Where we're sitting right now, that would be bang on normal as far as the daytime high goes, 23 degrees, and that's where we are before 9 a.m. 22 in areas just to the west of us, Morden, Portage, Morden, Winkler area. I said that weird. Anyway, and further off to the west, Brandon, 15 degrees, and we're seeing these mid-teens all along this western border. Now, as far as precipitation goes, there will be some throughout northern Manitoba, especially in the northeast, the possibility of some thunderstorms. Churchill will remain a little bit cooler today, climbing to a high of about 8 degrees. Most places throughout northern Manitoba and along that western border, mid-20s, but high 20s are expected here in the southeast. There's that precipitation further to the east of us. That will continue on further east, but it has been very muggy all morning long. We just got missed by the precipitation. Here's a look at how the mercury will rise through the day, getting up to 26 degrees by the time kids are coming home from school. 27 are expected high, a whole lot of heat, some stronger winds today, thankfully. Still more heat tomorrow with the potential for some storms, and then precipitation will linger, but the temperatures dropping off, and we're looking at below seasonal temperatures then to last through the coming weekend. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Ottawa has pledged $15 million to a 100-megawatt solar project in Saskatchewan being developed by Greenwood Sustainable Infrastructure, a clean energy business from the Libra Group. The federal funding was announced on Friday at the groundbreaking for what will be one of the province's largest photovoltaic sites. The Ontario Teachers' Pension Plan could be sitting on a paper windfall of as much as $11.6 billion from its early investment in Elon Musk's SpaceX, as the rocket and satellite company prepares to go public on Friday. Tech investor and commentator Sawyer Merritt highlighting the potential return on X, saying the pension fund's roughly $300 million investment could surge in value if SpaceX reaches its target IPO of about $1.75 trillion. Well, New York City is offering $50 World Cup tickets. Toronto says it's going to make money off its multi-million-dollar purchase of 3,500 World Cup tickets. Only 70 remain, and they should go soon. Another 50 are being put in a lottery draw. The total cost for 6 matches at BMO Field is estimated at $380 million. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Getting outside to play is a rite of passage that many kids are not doing anymore. Instead, they're inside on their screens, missing out on unstructured play. Canada is marking the 3rd annual International Day of Play on Thursday. It's a reminder that a childhood mixed with play needs to be protected for children. Joining us now is Right to Play ambassador Sammy Jo Small, who is a 3-time Canadian ice hockey Olympian and 5-time world champion who was born in Winnipeg. Good morning, Sammy Jo.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, thanks for joining us. Now tell us about some of the disturbing statistics we're seeing in children aged 7 to 12 when it comes to outdoor playtime.
Well, not only here in Canada, but about 200 million kids around the world don't have access to play. And that's where a charity that I work a lot with called Right to Play steps in to be able to access play for kids around the world that don't have access because of war or poverty. But right here in Canada, we don't have that excuse. So you talked about tablets, you talked about kids being inside, but people love to be outside playing when given the opportunity. And that's what Thursday is all about. It's just about getting out with your family, your friends, and going down to the local park, maybe dancing at Folk Fest, doing something really fun like that.
And why? What are some of the benefits of playing outside?
Well, I think especially for kids, it connects people together. It gives you the education. It gives you the parameters to just simply be, and that's when we learn so much about ourselves. But we learn so much about the people around us and how they react to situations. But at the end of it, it's just really fun, and it's so good for our bodies. It's so good for our mental health. It's just a great way to be outside and be with your community.
And also, it's an opportunity to use your imagination. Tell us the benefits of that.
For sure. So when I grew up in Winnipeg, I grew up in St. Vital, and I was lucky enough to get to play street hockey with a lot of the boys in the neighborhood. And I dreamed that someday I could play in the NHL. Now, I'm so glad there's a pro women's league that they can play in now, but that was really where my dream started. And had I not been allowed to play street hockey as somebody that was a little bit different, I would have never gone on to become an Olympic champion. So it takes people to be those catalysts. It was either my brother that allowed me to play or my parents that encouraged play. But I think we as parents, I have a 10-year-old, we can be so encouraging to our kids to just go outside, but also be that catalyst as well, to go outside and play with them and make it fun.
Okay, so what advice do you have for parents and educators to do just that?
Too dangerous. I think to go with them, you know, to walk down to the park, to be the person that asks, or maybe you create the play date, whatever it is, put a little bit of effort into it, because then eventually this will set your kids up for life. But getting them out there and connected with their community and just playing, going for a walk, walking the dog, there's so many things that we can do outside that or inside or in a community center. There's so many great facilities in Winnipeg. Let's use them, and let's get out there and play together, especially Thursday, but the rest of the year as well.
Okay, so what's happening on Thursday? What do you want people to know about that?
So it's the International Day of Play. So Right to Play is one of the hosts, but there's so many other partners that are involved as well. And it is simply about going out and playing. And hopefully this reminds you to get off your tablet, get off the couch, go out, meet your community, go for a walk, go for a run, whatever it is that you love doing. And that's adults, kids included, but it can mean so much for the youth in our society. And I think that it will teach them such valuable lessons for the rest of their lives.
Any other messages?
That's it. Just have fun.
All right. Thank you so much, Sammy Jo.
Thank you, Rachel. I really appreciate it.
Anytime.
Yeah, she mentioned specifically Thursday. Not that any day isn't a great day to get outside, but Thursday things will be considerably cooler than the heat that we've got to experience over the next couple of days. Today will still be a bit of a scorcher, so if you are headed out today, hat, sunglasses, slather up with sunscreen, and by all means stay hydrated throughout the day. It's 23 right now, but it already feels like 29. We've got that breeze back again, and thank goodness for it. Is gusting to 35 kilometers per hour out of the southwest. The pressure rising and the humidity is sitting at 79%. Sun, it's out. The clouds have been clearing all throughout the southeastern part of the province, with the rain that was passing close to the city moving south and now to the east of us, and more precipitation moving through areas of northern Manitoba. Especially in the northeast, things could be a little bit stormy where it's just a little bit soggy through northwestern Manitoba. Temperatures there still above seasonal in those low to mid 20s. Here in the southeast, more so in the high 20s, whereas southwestern Manitoba closer to the more seasonal low to mid 20 temps. But while we might be in the high 20s for today, and it feels so incredibly hot with that humidity factored in, thankfully we've got this breeze happening as well. But tomorrow could be even hotter. Now, that kind of brings an end to the heat, because by the middle to the end of the week, the temperatures will be cooling down. Still some precipitation expected to linger after some possible storms tomorrow. And then with those soggier midweek conditions, temperatures remaining cool for the coming weekends. Our picture today is a big thanks to Mark, who spotted this mama and her cubs out in Pinawa area. Thanks for sharing this beautiful photo with us. Keep the pictures coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca.
Weather is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Same-day oil and tire changes.
Today was the perfect day to not have my breakfast. We're at St. Mary's Nursery and Garden Center. Ainsley, Carla, once again for Get Growing. This is a pretty great segment. It's sweet.
It's sweet, but it could also be sour. We're talking about gardening, but we know that we can do apples and pears and plum trees in our gardens. But why don't we talk about small fruit? I think small fruit gets underrated, that's on it. But it's kind of that culinary aspect that you can go in when you're looking at it and sort of seeing that we can grow cherries in Manitoba, whether you want a cherry tree or a cherry shrub. So sour cherries, and people go, I don't want a sour cherry, but they are kind of a sweet sour, and we're going to be baking with them anyway. We'll add some more sugar to what there is.
There you
right?
go.
Now, when we go into the other sort of sweetened portions of it, raspberries. Now, you want to have allotment of space for raspberries because you know that they sucker and they spread. So this is a capacity where you can be growing your own fruit, canning your own fruit, freezing them. So it's whether your choice of whether you're wanting to go with a royalty raspberry, which is kind of a reddish, blackish one, or into the Wyoming series, which is going to give you that traditional or sort of that non-traditional red. It's going to give you that black fruit. Now, when I'm saying small fruits, we have to remember also too, when we're going into kiwis, kiwi vines always look great. So if you're looking for it, and you can actually start to see some of the the fruit development that's in here. Not going to get the larger fruit that you're going to get like in the store, but slightly smaller. One of my favorites is going into rhubarb. Now you can already see the development of some of the red stemming that's in through here.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, easy care. And if I gave you one tip for planting rhubarb, it would be to don't plant it too deep. It's one of those plants that you want to make sure that you're matching the elevation that you're planting it in to make sure that it doesn't go too deep. If it's planted too deep, it's not going to produce for you. Now, when we talk about blueberries, there's a new one that's on the market that's hascaps. And I think a lot of people think, well, what's a hascap? If you look at the nice round shape of a blueberry, hascaps have that elongated form to them, not a round berry, but they are so delicious. So you'll have to check out the hascaps. And of course, when you're venturing into any of your gardens, one of the things that it's nice to do around some of your small fruits is by using a garden straw. Like this is different than your bedding straw that you're putting in because it's chopped, it's clean. You can put it around your plants to conserve the moisture that you're putting into the ground. You can bank it around your strawberries. And of course, when we end up at the strawberry patch, we have to go in. And you were saying who gets to nibble on the strawberries when we're here? Well, there's a few strawberries that are going to be able to nibble on.
I love it.
Whenever you're venturing into small fruit, it's always a tasty treat afterwards.
And I have some leftover chocolate from the dark chocolate I got from your store.
Those are good. Very good.
Get Growing is brought to you by St. Mary's Nursery and Garden Center. Get a lush yard and garden thanks to expert advice from gardening professionals.
Here's a look how things are moving along on Osborne Street right now. It looks good so far this morning on the drive. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this. Terry, there's a blanket of humidity outside.
Yes, I'm so sorry for you. You've been stuck in the studio all morning long, and it's an absolute deep freeze in here. I mean, for a couple weeks now, we've been dealing with like these frigid temperatures indoors, and I get the option to like step outside every 10 minutes or every 20 minutes and stand out there soaking up the sunshine and the heat that comes with it. And poor you. Your hands are like ice.
My ice and my feet are cold too.
I know. I'm so sorry. In about, what have we got left of the show? 30 minutes. You should come outside with me and enjoy some of that sunshine, the heat that goes with it. Honestly, it will hit you like a wall. The humidity is so high this morning that you step outside and you feel it immediately. 23 degrees. Feels like 29, and there is a bit of a breeze. And honestly, thankful for that breeze because it is so hot out there. You need that air to be moving around a little bit. Southwest winds are gusting to 35 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity sitting at 79%. So yes, the heat is on outside. It might not be on in the building here, but outside it is going to be a little bit of a scorcher today. The first couple of days of the week will continue on from the heat that we experienced over the weekend, but then things will be settling down through the latter part of the week. So hopefully we get our heat fixed by then because we won't find that relief outside. There you can see the precipitation passing through the southeastern part of the province, and it doesn't read up north, but there's going to be some showers in the northwest or some rain, but stormier conditions expected throughout northeastern Manitoba. We're likely to see these clouds continuously clearing through the day, making things even hotter when the sun doesn't have the clouds to peek out from behind. So just beating down on you, you'll have to find the shade of the tree if you're trying to keep cool. 27 degrees is where we're headed, with a wind at times gusting to 50 kilometers per hour. And as it clears throughout the day, that keeps those clear conditions overnight as we drop down to 14 degrees, with those winds tapering somewhat. Now, those winds will be back tomorrow. There's also the possibility of some storms tomorrow, a hot high of 31, and those storms could potentially be severe. That means there's the possibility for some strong and damaging winds, heavy rain, maybe even some hail. Rain will then continue for the next couple of days, and I mentioned this cool down that's coming. Well, it's going to last throughout the coming weekend with below seasonal temperatures. 23 is normal.
Thank you, Terry. The federal and provincial governments are offering a lifeline to Manitobans affected by U.S. tariffs and broader economic uncertainty.
Canada's economy is changing. Global markets are shifting, industries are adapting, and workers are being asked to navigate increasing uncertainty.
That's Rebecca Chartrand, Minister responsible for Canadian Northern Economic Development Agency, announcing more than $18 million for the Canada-Manitoba Workforce Tariff Response Program. It's expected to help more than 2,000 workers gain new skills for in-demand jobs, such as through training or employment programs or directly through their employer. You can find all the details, including how to apply, by visiting the provincial government's website. With high fuel and fertilizer costs already squeezing farmers, many in rural Manitoba are facing another costly challenge: theft. Recent copper wire thefts are leaving some producers with damaged equipment and hefty repair bills.
We were thinking it's going to be around that 20 grand that we're going to have to spend to fix it.
Farmer Rachel Prodden is referring to her farm's pivot irrigation system and the copper wire that was stolen from the system recently. The theft rendered it unusable. The damage hasn't stopped there. Prodden says the copper wire in one of her corn planters was also stripped, completely destroying the equipment in the process. She says they were forced to buy a new machine, which cost them around $50,000 to replace. In response to similar incidents, others in the region have already implemented extensive security measures to help prevent future theft. Near Elm Creek, Colin Penner has installed security cameras and additional lighting around his property. He says the rise in rural theft is troubling.
Rural theft, it's a big thing, right? We depend on our tractors, our trucks, and our equipment for our livelihood. And when they disappear on us, it can really impact how we can do our job.
Manitoba brought in the Scrap Metal Act 4 years ago. That bans the sale of stripped metallic wire without proof of ownership, but Prodden says more needs to be done. In the meantime, she's offering a $10,000 reward for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of those responsible for the recent thefts. It was a beautiful day to be on the lake in Bavaria for Corpus Christi. The Catholic holiday celebrates the presence of Christ. People in rowboats decorated with flowers and church banners crossed this lake in Germany in traditional costumes. This custom dates back nearly 100 years. We're getting a rare peek behind the curtain at a massive project on Parliament Hill, the multi-billion-dollar upgrades to the centre block, not to mention the new Parliament Welcome Centre. CTV's Natalie Van Roy reports.
A look at the massive hole being dug on Parliament Hill, usually hidden away from the public as major construction continues on the centre block and a new Parliament Welcome Centre.
Certainly the largest and most complex heritage rehabilitation of its kind in Canada and actually maybe even in the world.
The project kicked off in 2018 and is currently scheduled to be completed in a few years, with a price tag ranging between $4.5 to $5 billion.
Have a theater.
On Sunday, the public getting a peek behind the curtain as the project is usually blocked by steel scaffolding.
I actually traveled here from Toronto to see Doors Open Ottawa. I've seen it in non-construction times. The first time seeing it actually, what it looks like with the construction on.
It's a complex site with a focus on restoration, modernization, and maintaining tradition, piquing people's interest.
The history, the architectural decisions, how they're modernizing it for, the new century compared to when it was built.
Parliament's restoration reaches up to 2 stories underground. Experts on site to describe the methods used during the work.
The most fascinating was also seeing how they're using some of the old technologies for this. So we saw the tools that they're carving with.
Work continues every day.
Between 800 and 900 workers on site every day. So construction is going as anticipated, with many challenges here and there because it is a complex task.
And those getting a peek, taking pictures and making memories. Natalie Van Roy, CTV News.
Here's a look at what's happening now in traffic along Portage Avenue at Polo Park. Things appear to be moving quite well in this part of the city. If you have any problems out there, please let us know. Here's a look at your gas prices. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.56. It was $1.58 on Friday. The lowest price in the city is $1.49. All this information is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
It's time now for your answers to our question of the day. Today is National Best Friends Day. So we asked, what do you want to say to your best friend? Susan says, Rose, you make everything better. Tracy says to her BFF this morning, hi, weirdo. Judy shared, I love my best friend. They are wonderful women. My life is so much better with them in it. Felicity will say, I hope you had a great weekend. And Phoebe will say that she is awesome. Thanks for your responses.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic. Science-backed body contouring.
Let's go back now to Ainsley. We're talking about Franco Thursdays. Good morning, Ainsley.
Hi, good morning. And I know it's Monday, but you might want something to do on Thursday, so we're setting you up for success. Chloe Card is joining us now. And if you're an art enthusiast, the Winnipeg Public Artworks is setting up these tours. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so we're doing a tour of all of the beautiful public art here in St. Boniface. So the tour is called St. Boniface Public Art and Monuments. If you're interested, you can sign up at the winnipegarts.ca or on Eventbrite. Basically, we take you through a beautiful walk through the area. It's a 1.2 kilometer walk. It's the shortest walk that we offer here during the summer. It takes about an hour and a half if we're really chatty, but sometimes they can end a little earlier, between an hour as well. The beginning of the tour starts across from Old Musée de St. Boniface. It's at Far West, which is an artwork by Marcel Gosselin. And then as we walk towards, a lot of the works talk about the history of St. Boniface, a lot of the foundation. We talk a bit about the history of the Grey Nuns in the area. Then further along the walk, we go to Université St. Boniface, and we talk about artworks that talk a little bit about the school and education here in the neighborhood, and we see the Louis Riel piece. Then walking further, we end in the contemporary, more of like exploring contemporary artworks in Le Jardin des Sculptures, or the Sculpture Garden, and that's next to La Maison des Artistes. So you get about another hour where the art gallery is open, and you can go there and explore some more artworks.
So of course we're talking about Franco Thursdays, but there's dozens of tours, so lots of opportunities throughout the summer for people to check out.
Yeah, absolutely. And, be good for me to mention, the tour is available, really depending on your French level. We usually do a consensus together as a group. There's a tour available in English and French, so if everyone in the group that day happens to be a French speaker, we can totally run the tour in French. If everyone only speaks English, we can totally run the tour in English. We can also do a little bit of half and half if we've got folks of different French levels. And yeah, the Winnipeg Arts Council this year, we're doing lots of fun tours that can be found on the winnipegartscouncil.ca website. We've got tours coming up with Bike Winnipeg. There's lots of new art coming up downtown. So
it's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know what? You could head to Live Patio as well this coming Thursday.
Okay.
Back to you.
Thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. The sun is shining bright, and it's a hot one.
Yeah, I'd say head to a patio right now. My goodness, it's beautiful out here. And my flowers, if you didn't see them at 6 a.m., rewind your TV if it has those capabilities, because honestly, they were so sad. They dried up over the weekend. Obviously, it was incredibly hot and there wasn't a lot of water, and we don't have a team here over the weekend. So my poor flowers were looking so sad, but I'm always just so surprised at how quickly they kind of come back to life again. They're looking beautiful and lush right now. And they got a drink at 6 a.m., but it only took a couple of hours. So make sure that you're watering your plants and yourself. Staying hydrated on a day like today is absolutely key. It's 23, but it feels like 29. And those winds are strong, but all that means is, yes, it'll keep the air moving, which is good. But it also means that things like your plants are going to dry up that much quicker. So do make sure that you're making sure that they're staying hydrated as well, because Mother Nature's not really coming through with us for the goods, or for us with the goods as far as precipitation goes here in Winnipeg until maybe tomorrow afternoon. That's when we have a chance of showers with thunderstorms. And from there, things will get a little bit soggier later this week, but your plants don't want to wait until then, so give them that drink today. Taking a break right now, we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by the Better Business Bureau. Research at bbb.org before you buy.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
The Winnipeg Blue Bombers season started with a big spark.
Back into the belly of Brady.
Brady Oliveira blasted through the line and scampered 19 yards for the TD run midway through the first. Down 14-8 later in the half, the Bombers regained the lead on a 1-yard rush by QB Bryce Perkins. But Calgary stormed down the field once again and took a 21-16 lead into halftime. Midway through the third, Zach Galeros connected with receiver Tim White for his first touchdown in blue and gold. The Stamps would then take the lead late on another rushing touchdown. There it is. But Sergio Castillo played hero Friday night, kicking the game-winning field goal with time expiring. The Bombers took the season opener 30-28. They're back in action this Thursday at home against the Ticats. On average, 69 people in Canada get diagnosed with colorectal cancer every day. Most adults start to get screened at the age of 50. But with cases on the rise for those under 50, Ontario is dropping the age for testing. CTV's Kamil Karamali reports.
Can you wear that at your recital today?
There was a time when Ashley Wiley thought she would never be able to experience moments like these with her daughters ever again, after she was diagnosed with colorectal cancer last year.
My fear is not seeing my kids grow up.
Fear, but also gratitude that she caught it when she did. Having just turned 41, Wiley didn't qualify in Ontario for colorectal screening, which begins at 50. So after experiencing symptoms, she pushed her doctor to get one.
Is there not another exam we could do? Should we not do, like, maybe a colonoscopy or something?
So how grateful are you then that you pushed your doctor for a colon cancer screening?
I don't even have words for that. I can't even believe where I would be right now if I didn't.
Now, on July 1st, Ontario will become the second Canadian province to lower the age eligibility for publicly funded colon cancer screening. Ontario will join PEI in having colorectal cancer screening available to those 45 years and older. The rest of Canada has that age limit set at 50. A study published this year shows lowering the age by 5 years across the country would mean 15,000 fewer cases and more than 6,000 fewer deaths in the next 40-plus years. And that has cancer groups calling for a national strategy to reduce the screening age countrywide.
I think it's very significant because we know that if we can detect cancer in an early stage, we are able to cure them with higher rates.
Ottawa has introduced a new health advisory committee it says will mark an important step in creating more evidence-informed guidelines, but hasn't committed to lowering the age. For Ashley Wiley, this bell marking the end of her treatment in November.
Try again.
A feeling that she won.
We would be looking at very different odds and in a very different scenario without that screening.
When she chose to advocate for herself. Kamil Karamali, CTV News, Toronto.
A cemetery seems like the last place to host a grand light and sound show, but that is what's planned for a massive burial ground in Montreal. At first, the idea was controversial, especially for families with loved ones there. CTV's Geneviève Beauchemin has more on what changed their minds.
A cemetery may seem an unlikely stage for a show, but among gravestones at Montreal's Notre-Dame-des-Neiges lie historical treasures. It's the burial site of hockey great Maurice Richard, of legendary mayor Jean Drapeau, of poet Émile Nelligan.
We have a jewel in Montreal.
To shine a spotlight on that legacy.
Using also the fountain.
The cemetery will be the scene of a multimedia experience. It's an immersive 2-kilometer walk with lighting, music, video by famed entertainment studio Moment Factory based in Montreal. Creators say the project will respect the sacred grounds and incorporate the voices of family members naming their loved ones.
The experience will follow the mission of the cemetery, which is to remember the people.
The well-known and the million others buried at the tree-filled garden cemetery the size of nearly 200 football fields. In fact, the cemetery is so vast, just about every Montrealer has a connection to this site. Right here are the Beauchemins, my grandparents, both buried. Some of the family members had questions about how the project would ensure their loved ones' gravesites would be respected.
We took the time to explain to the family what will be the use of the cemetery, that we will stay in the actual paths, that we will not walk on the monuments.
The association representing families told CTV News it supports the project if well executed. The cemetery's recent history was plagued with a strike in 2023 that halted operations and burials, and an ice storm that damaged thousands of trees. Maintenance costs have risen over the years, and ticket sales may help cover some expenses.
Our main focus remains to take care of the cemetery, and the nighttime tribute walk is a complementary activity that will help us continue ensuring that we do this properly.
The cemetery hopes the year-round experience will bring more visitors to honor the past, to pay tribute to those who rest here. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
Fans of the Epic series, check out this contest.
Person can change the course of the future. I'm glad you're with me.
The soundtrack to Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, will be performed live here in Winnipeg. 250 musicians will provide a full orchestral accompaniment live on stage to the Academy Award-winning movie. And this week, we're giving away 4 tickets to the Saturday performance on June 20th at the Centennial Concert Hall. Experience the movie like never before. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and don't forget to enter the keyword ring. Good luck.
All right, it's 23 degrees, but it feels like 29 with winds out of the southwest gusting to 35 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 79%. You know what I want to do is I want to wish a happy birthday to our crew member, Kevin. Kevin, it's his birthday. It was actually his birthday yesterday, but we're celebrating it today. So shout out to Kevin. Happy birthday. We didn't forget about you. It's hot though. Okay, here's what we're going to talk about first. How hot it is. The storms passed on by and didn't drop a single drop here in Winnipeg. Areas to the east of us and to the north of us, you'll see some of that precipitation. We might see some of it tomorrow. By tomorrow afternoon especially, possibility of severe storms and then lingering precipitation through the middle part of the week. But a cool down is coming for the latter part of the week and weekend. We're taking a break, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
Well, of course, we have some fun video to show you before we say goodbye. We kick things off with a fashion flashback for this Monday. Remember stirrup pants? This 80s fashion trend is back and hanging in stores. Ooh. Gen Xers are cringing at the sight of these, while Gen Alpha, they're adding them to their daily outfit.
I got excited. I'm like, oh, yes.
Yeah, it just takes me back to that era, for sure.
They weren't a good look.
They weren't.
But they excite me.
Now to a reminder that you don't have to be invited to the party to have a good time. Look at him go. During an outdoor DJ event, this kid was spotted dancing in the window of his room. Watch as he rocks out to the tunes. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. And someone took the time to take this video. Great.
He's well illuminated.
And then a school in California made the many versions of Michael Jackson a part of their end-of-year show for parents. Okay. These are the grades 3 and 5 students at Baldwin Hills Elementary. The school's principal says they learned the dance number in less than a month thanks to teacher Melinda Jackson and choreographer Francis Bucknor. The special jam to MJ includes his moves throughout his career. This was just one of 7 numbers put on by students at the school for the US celebration, highlighting the school's culture.
What is this, Juilliard? Every kid can just dance like that?
Yeah, incredible.
Wow.
That does it for us. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day.